Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. I'm in Konoha, Deduce magnetic escape at the start. Chapter 81. Such a scene is really shocking. Seeing this, many Cloud Shinobi showed their expressions of worship and excitement. Their Third Raikage is too powerful. Brave, mighty. The blood is surging. However, at the next moment, the figure of the leech suddenly appeared behind Third Raikage. Holding a samurai sword, he silently slashed towards Third Raikage's neck. The angle is tricky, the speed is fast, and the blade is sharp. It is enough to illustrate the superb swordsmanship of the leech. But for Third Raikage, it was a bit slower. Good speed. It's a pity it's a little slower than me. With a grim smile on his face, Third Raikage turned around and made an elbow strike. Reruns. Thunder and lightning surge. Crackling. Crackle. Accompanied by dark blue electric lights flashing. The terrifying giant force slammed into the heart of the leech with the elbow. Boom. The heart shattered immediately, and the whole person flew out directly. 3 or 4 meters above the ground, flying upside down nearly 20 meters. He spat out blood, and lost his breath as soon as he landed. With the death of the leech, other rock shinobi also showed their anger and hatred. There were even 2 rock shinobi jonin named Huogong and Oishi, who directly killed Third Raikage one by one. Immediately, the flames stretched out his arms, and the 2 blades immediately stretched out from the wrists, and a wisp of icy cold light appeared. The big stone is running, and his hands are imprinted. The figure suddenly disappeared in place. This is a rare secret technique. It's called ninja camouflage hidden. How naive. There is no fear in his eyes, only a little contempt and disdain. The neck slanted slightly, making a sound. Then, lightning style lariat. The figure of Third Raikage suddenly disappeared in place, and he charged towards the fire like a beast. The speed is extremely fast and the momentum is great, just like an armored vehicle wearing a heavy thunder. Crackling. Crackle. This kind of momentum made Huogong's eyes involuntarily reveal a ray of fear. Fear tempers anger, hatred, and murderous intent. Now he just has to dodge this attack from Third Raikage. Pity. There was no way he could escape. But in an instant, Third Raikage had already arrived in front of Huogong. With a terrifying acceleration, Third Raikage slashed directly on Huogong's neck with a knife. Crack. The neck was directly broken, and the head flew out. PFF'd. Blood poured out like a fountain. And also after beheading the enemy with a hand knife. Third Raikage jumped directly on the spot in the next moment. Lift your right leg. Lightning style guillotine drop. Hands are like knives, legs are like axes. In lightning style chakra mode. The whole body of Third Raikage seemed to be full of lethal weapons. Even Third Raikage's body is stronger than steel. That violent thunder and lightning is the strongest armor. Not good. His pupils shrank suddenly, and Dashi only felt that his death had come. And he felt right. The right leg fell like an axe. His body was also torn in 2. It was shattered, and there were still scorch marks left by the raging thunder and lightning. At this time, the time had just passed 3 seconds. Looks like it's just going to be desperate. Looking at the scene in front of him, looking at Third Raikage's unstoppable figure, Luo Sha gritted his teeth, and there was absolute despair in his eyes. Make a seal with both hands, mobilize the whole body chakra. Magnet style gold dust burial. Accompanied by Luo Sha's palm pressing on the ground. The ground beneath Third Raikage's feet suddenly turned into gold dust. The gold dust was surging, spiraling like Uzumaki, like a huge mouth of the abyss, wanting to swallow the Third Raikage in one bite and bury it forever in the depths of the earth. The power seems to be pretty good. Unfortunately it's so slow. Third Raikage used the Lei Shun body technique, and the whole person disappeared in place like a flash of lightning. Facing Third Raikage's approach, Luosha continued to seal while running towards Iwagakure. Magnet style purple gold realm law. The earth seemed to turn into hell in an instant. One after another, the gold spears suddenly rose up. Stab Third Raikage from a constant angle. Because the attack speed is too fast, and the gold spears are too dense. This also successfully delayed Third Raikage's approach. This also made Luo Sha heave a sigh of relief. But out of the corner of his eye he looked at the battlefield. Watching the Cloud Shinobi ninjas, like wolves entering the flock, continue to slaughter rock shinobi and sand shinobi ninjas. Luo Sha just felt that his heart was bleeding. This batch of supplies is absolutely unstoppable. 40 jonin is not a small number either. Sunagaku this time. The loss is too great. Third Raikage and Sasori are missing. Yi Kang and 35 other Sand Shinobi elites were also lost. Now the alliance with Iwagakure is in question again. Such a situation. What should he do? What can he do? Sunagaku, can it really continue in the Third Ninja War? Never mind, I don't want so much anymore. Let's live in the hands of Third Raikage first. That's it. Luo Sha tried his best to resist Third Raikage. In less than 10 minutes, there were dozens of wounds on his body. There is not much chakra left in the body. But Luo Sha also saw the hope of surviving. Horizon. Onogi's figure has grown from small to large. Looking at the embarrassed Luo Sha, looked at the thunderlight in the distance. Onogi understands everything, although I don't know why Third Raikage appeared here. But he knows. This batch of supplies could not be kept, and the 40 rock shinobi ninjas should have died. Such loss. Naturally it hurts him. Therefore, as soon as Onogi made his move, it is the elimination of the blood after the blood beyond the limit of the blood. Dust Escape Original Realm Stripping Technique. The knot is printed, and the palm is 1 point. A translucent white cube enchantment appeared between Onogi's hands. Throw hard. This Dust Escape enchantment is rapidly growing. Looking at this scene, Third Raikage couldn't help showing a bit of fear in his eyes. I can no longer care about Ruo chasing Sa Luasha, the figure froze, and the whole person quickly retreated. The power of this dust escape is no joke. It can smash everything into atoms and make life return to dust. In the ninja world, no one has yet been able to defend against this move. To be hit is to die. Without exception, so Third Raikage can only dodge. Looking at Onogi in the sky, Third Raikage knew that it would be difficult for him to defeat, let alone kill Onogi. Therefore, he just took one last look at Luo Sha and left without hesitation. Oyemu didn't stop him either, but looked at Luo Sha with a cold gaze. Tell me what happened. With a wry smile, Luo Sha endured the pain of his body and told Oyemu the whole story. Taking a deep breath, Onogi replied. The supplies can't be given to you anymore. But the alliance continues. Sand Shinobi is going to assist Rock Shinobi against Cloud Shinobi. Well, that's what it should be. After 7 days, the war between Cloud Shinobi against Rock Shinobi and Sand Shinobi broke out in full force. Tens of thousands of ninjas participated in this war. Intense and anxious. And it's a good time for Bison to get in on the action. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not find Orochimaru. Because Orochimaru is not in Konoha village. Bison-kun, I haven't seen you for a few days, and your aura has grown a lot stronger. The change in Orochimaru Senpai is also obvious. Perhaps in order to become an immortal as soon as possible, the current Orochimaru has been maintaining the Sage mode and receiving the transformation of immortal radiation. The crystal-like dragon scales, the gem-like dragon horns, and the erect dragon pupils look so extraordinary, and there is an indescribable sense of coercion. After taking a look, Bison couldn't help showing his thumb and complimented. I have to say, Orochimaru Senpai, your posture is very handsome. Hearing that Bison actually praised himself as handsome, Orochimaru felt a little inexplicably happy. And this is the first time someone has praised him for being handsome. Even this person is Bison. This left Orochimaru somewhat at a loss as to how to reply. Slightly taken aback, Orochimaru decided to go straight to the point. Thank you Bison-kun for your compliment. Let's talk about business. Since Orochimaru went straight to the topic, Bison naturally had a straight face, nodded and replied. Well, the war between Sand Shinobi and Rock Shinobi against Cloud Shinobi is all over. The main battlefield is in the country of Frost, and part of the country of Taki is also eroded by the war. According to intelligence analysis, the number of civilian deaths has exceeded 10,000. Bison should expect this result. In every ninja war, the worst casualties are civilians. After all, it's too hard to kill a ninja. But it's really easy to kill a civilian. It's time to act. It's going to be delayed any longer and the loss of labor is too great. The land of snow has a very good industrial base, and it is not far from the land of frost, so factories can be built in the land of snow. Quote, at that time, we can cooperate with the snow country to further develop the industry and improve productivity. There is no ninja village in the land of Tien, and it is adjacent to the Land of Fire, which is also a very good entry point. Hearing Baisan's words, Orochimaru's thoughts flashed. With his intelligence, it is not difficult to guess the truth behind the matter. He knew that Hatake Tsukumo was still alive and had a high probability of becoming Baisan's subordinate. So Baisan said that the factory can be built in the Snow Country. It must be that the Snow Country has been captured by Hatake Tsukumo. This is really not easy. Conquer a country by one person. Orochimaru also knows Hatake Tsukumo and knows Hatake Tsukumo's ability. Even if his strength is good, he does not have the intelligence in this regard. So, Snow Country can be regarded as Baisan 1. Such ingenuity, it really made Orochimaru admire him. Humanity and power are like toys in Baisan-kun's hands. It is an understatement to be able to dominate a country with one pawn. As if the world was Baisan-kun's chessboard. It's just that on the opposite side of Baisan-kun, there seems to be no enemy. Or, is there an enemy I don't know about? Thinking of this, Orochimaru was stunned first, then he restrained his thoughts and replied. Well, I know what to do. Discuss many details of the plan with Orochimaru. Baisan contacted Hatake Tsukumo. Mr. Tsukumo, the first phase of the plan has begun. Next, please cooperate fully with Orochimaru-senpai. I see, Baisan-kun. Chess pieces, fall. Back to the room. Baisan looked at the star chakra armor with a strange color in his eyes. The palm is stretched out and the lavender chakra forms a Rasengan. And with Baisan's concentration, this Rasengan changed from lavender to deep purple. And began to deform slowly. Turns into a drill-like spiral spear. That's what star radiation does, the materialization of chakra. Chakra is hard as steel, and the ability to change freely. Since you have mastered the mystery of star radiation, then it is time to fully deduce the development of Shanshu Wanwa creation. As soon as the palm is released, the spiral spear disappears. Take a few steps to sit at the desk. Baisan took out the pen and paper and deduced it with all his might. At the same time, in Konoha village, Sarutobi Hiruzen quietly looked at the crystal ball on the desk. He was thinking. Orochimaru actually left Konoha. This was something he didn't expect. Why did Orochimaru leave Konoha? When did Orochimaru get in touch with Baisan? Did Baisan and Orochimaru have anything to do with leaving Konoha? And Namikaze Minato is also a little weird lately, seems to be hiding something from him. Sarutobi Hiruzen really hates hiding. And he is very suspicious now. The former Namikaze Minato obviously trusted himself so much. So what happened? How could he hide himself? What about this? Did I ever say that Baisan is the future fourth Hokage? There are so many things he doesn't understand. But he didn't handle it well. After all, Orochimaru was his student, and now he can't find Orochimaru. Namikaze Minato now seems to be close to Baisan again. I don't know what happened between them. As for Baisan, such an amazing talent can be described as Konoha's future hope. Even he thinks the most suitable candidate to become fourth Hokage. Why would they do this to themselves? What is it that they don't want me to know? He wanted to press for an answer. But he didn't want to tear himself apart with Baisan and Namikaze Minato. More importantly, he wasn't sure about taking Baisan and Namikaze Minato. If Baisan really teamed up with Namikaze Minato against his third Hokage, perhaps he really doesn't have the ability to settle. And that result was not acceptable to him. I am clearly planning to retire. Why are you doing this to me at this last moment? Is it because of power? Thinking of the word, power, Sarutobi Hiruzen's breathing suddenly became heavier. Although he is ready to hand over power. But it's really time to hand over power. He was a little reluctant. Power is really a good thing. It can actually make me, an old man with half of his body buried in the ground, give birth to such a terrible idea. With a complicated expression, Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up the pipe. Feeling the aging of his body, he decided to pretend to be confused. Hide it, hide it. After all, I'm going to grow old and die. Even if I don't want to give up power, I won't have it for long. Might as well just retire. Baisan-kun, Konoha will be yours sooner or later. Things I don't want to know. Then I'll just pretend I don't know. Look away from the beautiful picture in the crystal ball. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned over the information scroll on the wooden table. Cloud Shinobi Village is ambitious to dominate the ninja world. Sunagakur wants to snatch it when it lacks materials, and Iwagakure is also restless and wants to fish in troubled waters to strengthen himself. It's a dog bites a dog. I don't know how long this war will last. Sarutobi Hiruzen also knew that Cloud Shinobi's war against Rock Shinobi and Sand Shinobi would not last long. Because they will not let Konoha sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight, and take advantage of the fishermen. Therefore, after one party has achieved an absolute advantage, they will wage war on Konoha. He is Hokage. Also be prepared in advance. Thinking about how to deal with the Third Ninja War, Sarutobi Hiruzen only felt a headache. Power is a good thing. But it's not without side effects. I hope the war ends soon so that I can retire early. Root base. Looking at the information in front of him, Shimura Danzo showed a cruel grin. The war has finally begun. Looks like my chance is coming soon. Shimura Danzo also understands, Cloud Shinobi's war against Rock Shinobi and Sand Shinobi won't last long. Because they will not let Konoha sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight, and take advantage of the fishermen. Sooner or later they will wage war on Konoha. And that, it is his chance to gain great military exploits and prestige. Only gained great military exploits and prestige. He can rightfully become fourth Hokage. Shimura Danzo smiled confidently at the sight of his obviously wooden palm. With first Hokage's wood style as a killer, he can definitely become fourth Hokage. Since the last time Hatake Sakumo was killed through rumors, he has been suppressed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. It not only destroyed his follow-up plan, but also deprived himself of a lot of power, and also reduced the funds that Konoha gave to the root. All these make Shimura Danzo hate Sarutobi Hiruzen. But for his own sake, Shimura Danzo finally endured. He knows, at this time, if you can't help but want to deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen, it's only him who suffers. And he'll lose his rightful chance to become fourth Hokage. As the darkness of Shinobi, Shimura Danzo's vision is not shallow, and he knows that the Third Shinobi World War is about to break out. So he endured. He will wait until the war breaks out. He has the opportunity to gain prestige and military exploits. And in war, he will also show wood style. And let his subordinates spread rumors. Shimura Danzo fuses the boundaries of wood style with his own talents. He is the new generation of ninja god. If Shimura Danzo becomes fourth Hokage, Konoha will restore the glory and power of the first Hokage period. The power of gossip. He has already seen it. Those ignorant commoners. The easiest to be coerced and fanned. As long as all civilians support him to become fourth Hokage, then he must be able to become fourth Hokage. The will of the people. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen is reluctant, he also has no way to resist the people's will representing God's will. In order to ensure that the plan is foolproof, Shimura Danzo also prepared a lot of vicious backhands. After thinking about it in his mind and making sure that the plan was foolproof, Shimura Danzo immediately put down the information scroll in his hand. Looking at a target 100 meters ahead, Shimura Danzo suddenly became interested. The left hand is sealed, the right hand is stretched out. Wood-style thrusting spear. But in an instant, I saw Shimura Danzo's right arm growing densely with tree roots. The roots of these trees were intertwined, turned into a giant spear, stabbed the target fiercely, and swallowed the target directly. Such power, such precision. It also caused Shimura Danzo to show a satisfied expression. This is a powerful force belonging to the cage level. And in the shadow should level, such power is also very powerful. Only, Orochimaru's face appeared in his mind, and Shimura Danzo's eyes narrowed slightly. Although Wood Style's power is strong, I still can't have the power of a ninja god. Could it be Orochimaru hiding something from me? And because the secret he hides is very precious, so he chose to leave Konoha. It is precisely because of the hidden danger of Orochimaru that Shimura Danzo has been unable to feel at ease. Although Orochimaru's departure means that Orochimaru does not want to become fourth Hokage, it is not a threat to him becoming Hokage. But if Orochimaru really knew the secret of how to become the god of ninjas, in the not-too-distant future, Orochimaru really becomes the god of ninjas. So what should he do? Orochimaru knows his secrets and possesses the power of a ninja god. If he were to threaten himself, what should I do myself? Reminds me of the ruthlessness of Orochimaru's human experiments. Shimura Danzo's face couldn't help but show intense fear. Possess that kind of amazing talent, and master has the power of the god of ninjas. Can he really get rid of Orochimaru? If it can't be removed, forget it, take one step at a time. I don't believe that Orochimaru is the only scientific researcher in the ninja world. Orochimaru can find a way to become the god of ninjas from the Hashirama cells, and the other may not be so. The secret is in the Hashirama cell anyway. When Shimura Danzo began to increase investment in scientific research in Orochimaru's underground research base, Orochimaru's shadow clone has successfully developed a scorch-style potion. Looking at the orange-red scorch-style potion in his eyes, Orochimaru's shadow clone couldn't help showing excited eyes. It's exactly as I guessed. The birth of the Shueiji boundary follows a certain law. As long as I can find this rule, I can fuse the hemorrhage and follow up boundaries at will. Even the elimination of the blood after the blood above the limit of the blood. In my hands now, there are 2 blood successor potions, wood-style potion and scorch-style potion. Next, it's time to carry out the blood follower fusion experiment. If I can really successfully blend wood-style with scorch-style, I don't know what kind of shocking and powerful blood will be born. So saying, Orochimaru's shadow clone has set its sights on Yikang on the lab bench. Yikang, who has the scorch-style blood continuum limit, is the most suitable experimental tongue for sanguinary fusion experiments in his hands. His eyes narrowed slightly, and Orochimaru's shadow clone revealed a pair of dragon eyes. Take the wood-style elixir. He walked slowly to Yikang's front. Infuse the wood-style elixir into the body. Soon, Yikang's body began to twitch and tremble. The expression on his face became grim and contorted. Watching the various data appearing on the instrument on the side, Orochimaru's shadow clone also smiled expectantly. 3 days later, Orochimaru's body appeared in the laboratory. Looking at the leaf warehouse in the culture tank, Orochimaru showed a look of interest. A ninja with both wood style and scorch style is a precious experiment. Unfortunately, I still have to perform the mission of Baizen-kun, otherwise I can carry out the next blood fusion experiment. Shadow clone is a physical clone created by Chakra. They can act and fight like the caster. It has a consciousness independent of the caster's body and a certain ability to fight. After the release, the memory and experience of the clone will return to the main body. It can be used to assist in practice or study, but not for scientific research. Although Orochimaru's shadow clone developed the scorch-style potion. But that's because Orochimaru has experience developing wood-style potions. And scorch-style is obviously weaker than wood-style. The difficulty of research and development is naturally lower. So Orochimaru just wrote an experimental protocol and let shadow clone do the experiment. This is equivalent to letting shadow clone perform a mechanical task. Shadow clone does it naturally. There is no difficulty in injecting wood-style medicine into Yikang. Shadow clone naturally does it too. However, the creation and scientific task of conducting blood sequential fusion experiments is not something that shadow clone can do. Can only be done by the body. Looking at Yikang, and then at the scorch-style potion in his hand, Orochimaru's eyes narrowed. Although it's a pity, but Orochimaru's heart is not a pity at all. Baizen's grand plan is obviously more important than the blood-following fusion experiment. And he didn't give up the blood-follower fusion experiment either, he just waited until the task of Baizen-kun was completed. The hematogenous fusion experiment was started. After sorting out the experimental data, Orochimaru and doses of scorch-style medicine were sent to Baizen by summoning beast. Certainly, Orochimaru also took this opportunity to report the progress of the mission to Baizen. 24,867 adult laborers have been recruited. 83 scientific research and technical personnel. 57 of the wandering ninja and the betrayal. And it's still recruiting. It is expected to reach saturation in 34 days. 12 semi-automated machinery factories have been established. It is expected to be completed within 97. Note: Baizen-kun, your idea is really different. I didn't think that the power of ninjas could be used in infrastructure. And the labor force of ninjas is almost dozens or even hundreds of times that of ordinary humans. This kind of factory beyond the world's cognition will soon be able to subvert the world's production methods and economic structure. Really looking forward to the day when the plan is completed. I want to see what the world will look like under the transformation of Bison-kun. Seeing the progress of the task Orochimaru sent him, Bison also showed a satisfied expression. It was exactly as I imagined. The power of chakra can be used not only for fighting, but also for creating. And just under 300 ordinary ninjas have such a huge workforce. What if it's a cage-level ninja? How huge is the workforce they can create? Thinking of this, Bison's brain quickly turned around, calculating the workforce represented by cage-level ninjas. Not long ago, a result appeared in Bison's mind, and Bison couldn't help feeling emotional. Chakra is worthy of the power of the alien civilization Otsutsuki. As long as you make good use of the BBDC hair, it is absolutely not difficult to travel the universe. Under my layout, the value of chakra will be fully exploited. Human civilization on this planet will also make leaps and bounds. It can completely surpass modern civilization in 10 years at most. Give me 20 years and I'll be able to leave the solar system. In my heart, there is a little yearning for a better future. Bison immediately put down the intelligence scroll. Turning his attention to the Scorch Style potion and experimental data, Bison couldn't help showing a satisfied expression. Orochimaru is worthy of being Orochimaru, doing things is reliable. Not only is the task performed meticulously, but there are no mistakes or flaws. The talent in scientific research is even more unparalleled. The Scorch Style potion was made so quickly. And Orochimaru actually injected the wood style medicine into Yikang, and there was only a slight rejection such as pain during the process. And then Yikang got wood style. This is really interesting. Looking at the neatly arranged experimental data, a strange color suddenly flashed in Bison's eyes. Wait, what is this data? A ninja with multiple blood guinea pigs will affect each other. The reaction that Scorch Style chakra and wood style chakra can produce, why is it like this? This special reaction, which is mutually exclusive, yet able to attract each other, attracted Bison's attention almost instantly. Because this reminded Bison of the reaction between the life magnetic field and the spiritual magnetic field when he constructed the Grand Unified Electromagnetic Field. Wood style is yang, Scorch style is yin. Yin and yang are mutually reinforcing, but they can also be combined into one. At this time, Bison suddenly had a flash of inspiration, and then he couldn't help murmuring. I seem to know the law of Shuiji's birth. Yin and yang and the 5 elements mutually generate and restrain each other, transform each other, and the reaction between them belongs to a special element circulation system. This elemental recycling system seems to be very consistent with the basic principles of chemical reactions. Energy, element, direction, limit, rate, condition. Chakra is energy, quality is the element, physical energy and spiritual energy are conditions. As for the direction, limit, and speed, further research is needed. This discovery surprised Bison very much. It's just that Bison still needs to develop Sage Art Wanwa creation and has no time to study these. And Orochimaru doesn't have time either. There are still too few scientific research talents. There needs to be recruitment, as well as increased training. It seems that the blood follower fusion experiment can only be discussed later. Gather the scrolls, Scorch Style potions, and experimental data. Bison took a deep breath and started to play Sage Art Wanwa creation. After completing the deduction of this immortal art, go to recruit scientific research talents. After half a month, in a workshop under the desert, Sasori is making a special part. This is a double helix structure made of magnets. When Sasori was finished, a smile appeared on his face. After a simple upgrade, his puppet body became more refined, and he was able to make more subtle movements. Such as blinking, such as smiling. The last part has been made. It's time to assemble my Sasori Full Metal Golem. The body of the puppet does not need to eat or drink water. There are 24 hours in a day, and it can work 24 hours. Since being instantly killed by Bison and receiving the Dongwang battle suit presented by Bison, Sasori has returned to his underground puppet-making workshop in the Land of Winds. Start researching day and night. And researched a result 3 days ago, and designed this magnetic storm red Sasori. The basic function of this magnetic storm red Sasori is basically the same as that of the Eastern Emperor's suit. It consists of 5 systems: the amplification system, the energy system, the power system, the weapon system, and the defense system. It can fly at low altitude, launch electromagnetic guns, and deploy electromagnetic shields. It's just because Sasori does not have the limit of magnet-style blood, nor does it have ninjutsu that can generate electromagnetic force. So Sasori made a certain transformation to the Eastern Emperor's suit. Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. It can borrow the magnetic field of the planet under its feet and amplify it, thereby producing a terrifying red current. If the design wasn't wrong, Magnetic Storm Kai Sasori is stronger than Third Raikage. And the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori is only my first achievement, my first work. I can also continue to upgrade, optimize, and transform it. The current Magnetic Storm Red Sasori can only borrow a very small part of the planet's magnetic field. But as long as I keep working on it, sooner or later it will be able to control the magnetic field of the entire planet. By the time, I can definitely defeat Bison with the power of Sasori. While thinking about it, Sasori proceeded with the assembly. After 3 hours, a 5-meter-high metal puppet with a human upper body and a Sasori child in the lower body appeared in front of Sasori's eyes. Beautiful curves, ferocious edges and corners, red and black, metal texture and luster, tall body and hockey's shape. Perfect. It's so perfect. This is the real puppet. Those puppets made of tattered wood aren't puppets at all. The same goes for the puppets I used to make, they're only for kids, they're just toys. Only this Magnetic Storm Red Sasori in front of me should be called a puppet. Excited, Sasori stretched out his hands impatiently. 10 translucent chakra lines suddenly shot out and landed on the 10 organs of the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. Then, zzz, a small electric beep suddenly sounded. Magnetic Storm Red Sasori's eyes suddenly flashed red electric light. This red electric light spreads rapidly. Chakra conducts on every part of the Storm Sasori. Activates the chakra cycle system of the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. The augmentation system, the energy system, the power system, the weapon system, and the defense system are also activated at the same time. When the control cabin in the back of the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori was opened. With a slight movement of his fingers, Sasori entered the control cabin with the help of the chakra wire. When the hatch is closed, Magnetic Storm Red Sasori is completely activated. More terrifying red lightning also burst out. Crackling, crackle. The magnetic storm coil of the double helix structure begins to rotate, and the red lightning condenses, compresses, and deforms, becoming the armor and weapon of the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. Very good. There is no problem. Then next. Let's start the first round of testing. My name is Sasori, and I used to be a human. Born in Sunagaku, the family is harmonious and happy. Both parents are Jonin from Sunagaku, and grandma is Sunagaku's advisor, Chio, who is well known in the ninja world, and the conditions are very good. So my childhood was very happy. Until my parents are dead. Their deaths were not accidental, but murder, political murder. Certainly, I didn't know this when I was young. Having lost my parents, I also closed my heart. From that moment on, I just hate the fragility of human beings from the bottom of my heart. I am withdrawn, but very talented. The knowledge that ordinary people take a long time to learn, the skills of the master. I was able to learn in a very short time, master. To relieve inner loneliness, I started learning puppet art, learning how to make puppets. No doubt, I became an excellent puppet master very easily. Even made a unique puppet. Father and mother. I controlled my parents with the chakra wire, made them hug me, made them love me, made them play my living parents. I dominate them, like a god. I want to live in the fantasy that my parents are not dead. But I was unusually awake. They are not my parents. They're just puppets that I can make at my fingertips. They are just wood, worthless wood. But the human body and brain make me extremely miserable. That kind of reluctance, those loneliness, tormented my soul. I can't stand it. Really can't stand it. I wanted to be free, but I was afraid of dying. So I finally understood what hatred is. After inquiring, I learned about the enemy who killed my parents. He is Konoha's White Fang, famous in the ninja world. For revenge, I began to practice puppet art, and I began to become stronger regardless of everything. Even for strength, he also specialized in the taboo puppet technique, human puppet. But just when I gained a certain amount of power and saw the hope of revenge, I got a message that changed my life. Konoha's White Fang is dead. He died by suicide. Die very different, full of strangeness. The first time I saw this information, I guessed the ins and outs of the matter. Konoha's White Fang died in a political struggle. Such a ridiculous way to die made me realize a fact. The essence of a ninja is just a tool. Maybe my parents' deaths were something else. So I decided to investigate. As predicted, the truth is as I guessed. My parents also died of political struggles. They were killed by Third Raikage. After learning the truth, I made up my mind. I want revenge on Third Raikage. For this I need great strength. And, being human is so painful. I don't want human feelings, I don't want human bodies, I don't want human pain. I don't want to live as a human. Then, I started researching how to make myself a puppet. A puppet dominated only by himself. If there is no pain, there is no puppet of pain. If you want not to be lonely, there is no lonely puppet. If you don't want to die, you won't die. A puppet with great power that can easily accomplish revenge. For ordinary people, I want to turn myself into a puppet. It's as if it's just a fool's dream. But for me, it is not difficult. In less than 3 years, I figured out how to turn myself into a puppet. Then successfully killed Third Raikage, complete revenge. It even made Third Raikage a human puppet. What a perfect revenge. At this moment, I am not only a genius, a puppet, a monster, but also an artist who dominates eternity. After, I just met a man who changed my life, Bison. He easily defeated me and took the human puppet made by Third Raikage. Finally gave a gift that can be called a perfect work of art, the Eastern Emperor's suit. This gift gave me a lot of soul, and also allowed me to develop my first all-metal golem, Sasori. And during the research process, I'm still planning my future. What am I going to do next? I'm going to defeat Bison and spare his life. Like he spared my life. And then, continuing the pursuit of timeless art. Eternal art is of course to be pursued. But how can I pursue it? Bison's approach inspired me. Give knowledge to genius, and more perfect fruit can be born. Even mortals, even if they are ignorant, must have something shining in them. The power of the individual is weak. The power of the masses is enormous. Only with the power of the crowd, I can create more perfect eternal art. To this end, I want to be Fourth Raikage. Master Sunagaker handed down the technique and manipulation of all metal puppets. With the wisdom of the crowd, constantly perfecting my eternal art. As for how to become Fourth Raikage, didn't the war break out? Isn't the condition of Sunagaker very bad? Not strong enough to resist the enemy. But it has enough power. Can easily help Sunagaker through the current difficulties. Even lead the rise of Sunagaker. Make Sunagaker stronger. So Sasori drove the magnetic storm Red Sasori to the land of frost. Third Raikage led a group of Cloud Shinobi against the main force of Rock Shinobi led by Onogi. As for Roshi's enemies, it is the son of Third Raikage, the future Fourth Raikage, and the AB group composed of 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer B. Although the defense and strength are not as good as Third Raikage. But I's speed is a few points faster than Third Raikage, and Lightning Style Chakra mode has also cultivated to a high level, and the speed is comparable to Blue Lightning. Killer B is not only 8 Tails Jinchuriki, but also better at 7 blades. Using various parts of the body and physical techniques, the 7 knives are flexibly used, and their unpredictable and fast knives are unpredictable and difficult to see. The 2 even have a combined trick. It's called Double Lariat. The power is very huge, and it can easily kill the enemy in seconds. Although Luo Sha is also cage level, he is obviously unable to resist I's alliance with Killer B. The reason why Sunagaker was able to resist reluctantly was also because of the assistance of Chio and Ebizo. Chio is in charge of fighting the enemy, and Ebizo is in charge of command. Lateral Bolt of Pain. With a loud roar, I, who was wearing a blue thunderbolt, slashed at the huge wave of gold dust in front of him with his knife. Boom! Accompanied by a roar, the giant waves of gold dust were smashed, and the shattered gold dust flew all over the sky. Seeing that the giant waves of gold dust were smashed, Chio, who was controlling the 10 people in Kinmatsu, hurriedly resorted to the puppet technique, the 3 treasures suck. 3 of the 10 members of the Kinmatsu crowd suddenly appeared. 3 puppets form a triangular array, and open the organs, Buddha, Fa, and Sang, to activate this technique. A violent tornado suddenly erupted, sucking Ai, trying to strangle it and chop it into pieces. Then, just after the violent tornado broke out, Killer Bee appeared behind the 10 people in Konomatsu. Supersonic Lightning Style Knife. The chakra of lightning style is injected into the 7-handled blade to enhance the lethality of the weapon, and the lightning style is used to induce high-frequency vibration waves so that it has a penetrating power that surpasses the wind style. Even the stabbed opponent will be paralyzed and unable to move. When all the 7 swords were born with lightning, Killer Bee displayed his 7 swordsmanship, which is unique in the world of ninjas. Arrogant Heron Cutting Knife. Crackling, crackle. Thunder and lightning flashed alternately, and the blades swung wildly. Cut, cut, cut. The 10 people in Jinsong were beheaded. The violent tornado generated by the puppet art and the 3 treasures sucking collapse naturally dissipated. Ai and Killer Bee's cooperation is too tacit understanding. Even if the overall strength of Luo and Chio is almost the same as that of Ai and Killer Bee, they are now at an absolute disadvantage. When the leader is suppressed. If not, Ebizo is good at commanding. I'm afraid Sunagakur has long been unable to resist. But even so, Sunagakur is also losing streak. Looking at the scene in front of him, Sasori suddenly had a complex thought. Mother-in-law Chio is really embarrassed. Sunagakur, it's been reduced to such a point. Sasori knows, the reason why the mother-in-law Chio was so embarrassed was the reason why Sunagakur was reduced to where it is now. The main reason is that he assassinated Third Raikage. Although he thought Third Raikage was killed. But Chio's mother-in-law was very kind to him, I also remember it. And he grew up in Sunagakur. How can there be no trace of emotion? At this time, I saw Chio's mother-in-law so embarrassed. Seeing a familiar face die. He's on the move. Crackling, crackle. The magnetic storm coil was fully operated, and the violent red lightning suddenly flourished. Covers the magnetic storm red Sasori completely, and condenses it into the armor of the magnetic storm red Sasori. The mechanism on Sasori's body started, and the magnetic field suddenly turned. In this way, the 5-meter-high magnetic storm, Sasori, rose into the air. Like a ball of red lightning, it charged towards the battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. The thunder is rolling, the momentum is huge. Attracted the attention of everyone on the battlefield. What is this? What a horrible breath. Is this a monster? Human's upper body and Sasori's lower body. Why does this monster's body look so metallic? Is this a puppet made of metal? Is this monster an enemy or a friend? But these noises, Sasori controls the magnetic storm red Sasori lifts Sasori tail. Electromagnetic gun. Start up. Boom. The needle-shaped electromagnetic cannonball rips through the sound barrier under the impetus of electromagnetic force and runs through the battlefield. But in the blink of an eye, hundreds of Cloud Shinobi were killed. And this is just the beginning. With the bombardment of the first electromagnetic cannon, the second shot and the third shot followed suit. Boom, boom, crimson lightning tore through the battlefield, and hundreds of Cloud Shinobi died. Such a scene. Seeing Ai, Killer Bee, and those Cloud Shinobi's eyes widened involuntarily, expressions of anger and horror appeared. As for Luasha, Chio, Ebizo, etc. Sand Shinobi, also happy with doubts. This monster, what is it? Certainly, no matter what this metal monster is. But Sand Shinobi are not fools. This metal monster is attacking Cloud Shinobi. Then it is its own. The brain works quickly, and Sasori's appearance exceeds Ai's expectations. Such a powerful metal monster, if not resisted immediately, will inevitably cause extremely serious casualties. And now, there seems to be only one way to stop this metal monster. When it is interrupted, it will suffer from chaos. After a slight pause, I commanded very decisively. Killer Bee, completely tailed beast. With Ai's order, Killer Bee also knew that the situation was urgent, so he did not dare to delay. He quickly communicated with Eight Tails Gyuki in his body. Gyuki, please this time. No problem, leave this metal monster to me. Eight Tails Gyuki loves fighting. There was a fiery fighting intent in the rough voice. In the next moment, Eight Tails Gyuki's tailed beast chakra suddenly overflowed from Killer Bee's body, but in an instant a tailed beast chakra coat was formed. And in this process, Killer Bee also released Lariat. The whole body condenses the lightning-style chakra state to smash the enemy at high speed with the body, and the power of the tail beast clothing is greatly improved. However, under the wrapping of the tailed beast's coat no lightning can be seen, and only the bones of the tailed beast can be seen on the elbow. Although the thunder and lightning cannot be seen, the thunder can be heard. Crackling, crackle, like a bolt of lightning strikes the enemy, and in the process, Killer Bee turns into a full beast. Eight Tails Gyuki's huge body appeared, with a bull head the size of a house, ferocious horns, and octopus-like tentacles, hawky and violent. Hoo! With a roar full of fighting intent, Eight Tails Gyuki opened a huge mouth, and the majestic chakra quickly gathered into a ball. This is the signature skills of the tailed beasts. Boom! The huge tailed beast bomb blasted towards Sasori like a cannonball. Seeing the tailed beast bomb coming towards his face, Sasori unfolded the electromagnetic shield without fear. The red lightning suddenly turned, creating an invisible electromagnetic force condensed into a spherical protective cover. Then, Sasori continued to accelerate, crashing straight into the tailed beast bomb. As if magnetic storm read Sasori as a huge electromagnetic gun. Such a scene. Ai's pupils shrank involuntarily. What the hell is this metal monster doing? Instead of dodging, he slammed into tailed beast bomb with his body. Not even a father would dare to do this. I was not the only one who was shocked. Everyone present was in awe. To know, that's tailed beast bomb. A powerful attack that can easily destroy mountains. Now someone dares to slam their body into tailed beast bomb. This is simply incredible. And what happened next shocked the souls of everyone present. I saw the red electric light suddenly flourished. Then there was an explosion that made the earth tremble. Boom! The red electric current sputtered in all directions, whistling, and the gust of wind swept across the sky and crisscrossed the sky, and the terrifying shock wave rippled, causing the air to ripple in circles. The strong wind wrapped in dust and sand blew on everyone's faces, and many people showed expressions of horror, even horror. This metal monster smashed tailed beast bomb unscathed. If you don't see it with your own eyes, how dare they believe it's all true? As expected of a magnetic storm read Sasori, the electromagnetic shield formed by borrowing the planet's magnetic field is simply not something that tailed beast bomb can shake. There was a bit of satisfaction in his eyes, and Sasori looked at Eight Tails Gyuki with a bit of contempt and disdain. District tailed beast, just a toy for the god of ninjas. It is a powerful monster for ordinary ninjas. But for me, an inhuman being destined to become a mechanical god. It's just a big bug. Give me. Kneel down. Coming to the top of Eight Tails Gyuki's head between the lightning and flint, the magnetic storm read Sasori's hands released one after another of red lightning under the control of Sasori. Riding on Eight Tails Gyuki didn't react yet, he pressed it hard. Boom. Without the slightest accident, with the help of the magnetic storm read Sasori of the planet's magnetic field, the 8 Gyuki were directly knocked down. The earth suddenly shattered, and a huge pit was created. The dense cracks of the tortoises spread out in all directions, and a little dust was raised. Half of Eight Tails Gyuki's body fell into the ground, and his tentacles struggled constantly, trying to break free from Sasori's hands, but he was powerless. Such a shocking scene made everyone show shocked and dementia expressions. No. That's Eight Tails Gyuki. Such a powerful tailed beast was easily suppressed by this metal monster with both hands. It's unbelievable. Great. Jinchuriki at Cloud Shinobi Village is suppressed. Ha 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 ha. In the shock, many Sand Shinobi also showed happy expressions. The mighty enemy was suppressed. Isn't this happy? Certainly. The Sand Shinobi were happy, but the Cloud Shinobi were worried. Especially I. Looking at this scene, he could only order to retreat. All troops retreat. Following Ai's order, the Cloud Shinobi retreated. And Sand Shinobi are also good at taking advantage of others. Seize the opportunity for the enemy to retreat and kill many enemies. Killer Bee, who was suppressed by the magnetic storm Kai Sasori, heard Ai's order and hurriedly communicated with Eight Tails Gyuki. The enemy is too strong. What trick to get out of here? Feeling the amazing power of Sasori, Eight Tails Gyuki naturally had no problem. Immediately cut off the tail to survive. In the next moment, Sasori only felt his hands light up. The figure of Eight Tails Gyuki suddenly disappeared. In your own hands, only one tail remained. Returning to his normal form, Killer Bee used his fastest speed to get away from the magnetic storm read Sasori. He looked at the tail of Eight Tails Gyuki in his hand, and at Killer Bee, Ai, and the retreating Cloud Shinobi. He wasn't going to chase. Instead, he turned his attention to Granny Chio and Luo Sha. The door of the operation cabin was opened, and Sasori's face appeared in the eyes of Chio and Luasha. Although Sasori simulated his puppet body to a certain extent, Chio and Luasha saw Sasori's abnormality at a glance. Mother-in-law Chio, and Luo Sha, long time no see. Concerned, surprised, delighted. Seeing Sasori, Chio's mother-in-law's mood was very complicated. In fact, she had doubts whether it was her grandson Sasori who killed Third Raikage and then fled in fear of the crime. But now it seems that it doesn't seem to be the time when Sasori disappeared. Could it be that he transformed his body into a puppet's body? And also made such a powerful metal puppet? How did he do this? Although I really want to angrily denounce this kind of puppet technique as crooked. But Sasori's terrifying fighting power just now made it difficult for Chio's mother-in-law to open her mouth. Even though Sasori is her grandson. Since it is difficult to open his mouth, Sasori has such a powerful force. So be it. After hesitating to speak, he sighed, and Chio grandmother replied. Just come back, just come back. As for Rosa, he fears the strong. And Sasori is the strong one. The invincible combat power just now made him not know what to say. Just a little unwillingness in my heart. Didn't expect Sasori to have such a strong fighting power at such an age. It looks like he won't be able to become fourth Raikage. But with such a powerful Raikage, Sunagaku's situation won't be as bad as it is now. As for whether Third Raikage was assassinated by Sasori, does it still matter now? When Granny Chio's words fell, Luo Sha also squeezed out a smile and replied. Thanks to you this time, Sasori. The scene where Sasori's figure emerged from the magnetic storm read Sasori was seen by Sand Shinobi who were present. It also made me burst into cheers. Ha 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 ha. I guessed right. This metal monster is a puppet. It's just that I didn't expect Sasori to control the puppet. Great. Such a powerful puppet master is our companion. Yeah, with Sasori-sama, we won't have difficulty resisting the enemy. Even we can launch a counterattack. Even the tailed beasts are no match for Sasori-sama, they will be easily suppressed by Sasori-sama. I don't believe that the enemy can resist Sasori-sama. Sasori-sama is invincible. Maybe it was suppressed for too long, and Sand Shinobi's mood was full of excitement and excitement. They escorted Sasori back to the camp. For such a powerful Sasori, they all offered their adoration and admiration. Seeing his companions adore him so much, Sasori also showed a happy smile. Then, standing in the crowd, Sasori declared like a speech. My compatriots, I am Sasori, the grandson of Chio's mother-in-law, the ninja of Sunagaku, and a puppet master. After my years of exploration and research, I have developed a brand new puppet making technique and puppet manipulation method. You must have seen that this metal puppet is powerful. To increase the power of Sunagaku. To keep our Sunagaku from being bullied. To make Sunagaku prosperous. I have decided to announce the art of making and manipulating metal golems. All Sunagaku ninjas can learn the art of making metal golems and manipulating them. In the near future, each of you can have a metal puppet like this. Each of you will have a fighting power as strong as mine. We Sunagaku will become the strongest ninja village, standing on the top of the world. Since Sasori-sama said such words in front of everyone, presumably it is impossible to lie. Such an impassioned speech. Naturally, everyone present, with a little disbelief, gave out the most fiery and most fanatical cheers. Long live Sasori-sama! Long live Sasori-sama! What? There is actually a Sunagaku puppet master who can crush the tailed beast bomb with a puppet, and then crush the 8 tails with one move with both hands. Listening to the report from his subordinates, Third Raikage couldn't help widening his eyes, showing an incredible expression. What puppet master is so fierce? How can you make such a powerful puppet? This is too incredible. Although it was unbelievable, Third Raikage also knew that this information was true. So he had to think carefully. What choice should he make next? Continue to attack Iwagakure and Sunagaku. It seems to be out of reach now. Are you going to surrender? Joke. He is Third Raikage, how could he possibly surrender? And even if he wants to shake hands with Sunagaku and Iwagakure, can Sunagaku and Iwagakure say yes? So he seems to have only one option now. That is to hire Shiroshi. There is no doubt that Shiroshi's strength is much stronger than him. No matter how powerful that puppet master is, nor can it be Shiroshi's opponent. Although the price is not cheap, it is also very reasonable. Not to mention, all he lacks now is time. As long as Shiroshi can help him procrastinate for 3 months, he will be able to master chakra fission technique, so as to achieve leap-forward progress. By the time, that puppet master could easily suppress 8 tails. He can too. This war, he has to go down. Only defeat Iwagakure and Sunagakure. Cloud Shinobi Village can only hope to unify the ninja world. Now that the decision had been made, Third Raikage immediately contacted Shiroshi. Mr. Shiroshi, I want to hire you for 3 months. Okay, 80 million a month. No problem. Transaction complete. At the same time, in Iwagakure, looking at the information from his subordinates, Onogi's eyes were very deep. He didn't even think. Sunagakure actually popped out a Sasori. The powerful metal golem easily smashed the tailed beast bomb, and even crushed the 8 tails with a single move with both hands. What a terrifying power this is. More importantly, this metal golem can fly. And the speed is very fast, like red lightning. After seeing the information about the metal puppet, Onogi knew that he was not Sasori's opponent. Originally Iwagakure was stronger than Sunagakure, so naturally, Sand Shinobi needed to support Rock Shinobi. But now it's different. Sunagakure is stronger than Iwagakure. If he wants to maintain the alliance, he must make some concessions of rights. As for breaking the alliance, he can't afford the consequences of breaking the alliance. Neither Cloud Shinobi Village nor Sunagakure can handle Iwagakure alone. Since Sunagakure has an extra Sasori, presumably this kid Luasha can't be the 4th Kage. Harmful. Anyway, I'll go meet this Sasori. After thinking to himself, Onogi sent someone to tell Sand Shinobi that he wanted to meet Sasori and discuss the alliance. The other side, Sasori walked into Chio's mother-in-law's tent. As soon as she entered the tent, Granny Chio couldn't wait to ask. Sasori, what have you done to yourself? And why did you announce the technique and manipulation of metal puppets? It turns out you're not like that. Seeing Granny Chio's concerned appearance, Sasori's soul also felt a little warmth, a smile appeared on his simulated face, and Sasori replied calmly. First of all, because I think the human body is too weak. There are not only many flaws, but also many fatal points. So I modified my body and designed this puppet body. The present can be called immortality, and immortality, even as long as the core is not damaged, I am eternal. Isn't immortality the dream of human beings? If you are about to die, Granny Chio, I will also make you such a puppet body, so that you will never die and we can be together forever. Hearing this, mother-in-law Chio was not only shocked, but also felt a bit of pity and warmth in her heart. He knew that his grandson was very talented, but he never thought that his grandson could be so talented. Feeling that the human body is weak, he made a puppet body for himself, and by the way achieved immortality. Really, immortality is the dream of all human beings. Not to mention that while immortal, you can also gain powerful power. And also, she now finally knew why Sasori did this. It's because he lost his parents at an early age. He doesn't want to have any more relatives, that is, I leave him. Ah, Sasori, he was still a good boy after all. Chio's mother-in-law is very pleased. It is precisely because of pleasure. She didn't resist Sasori transforming her into a puppet before she died. To be frank, she is also human, and she also fears death. If you can live forever, even if the price of immortality is the loss of a human body, so why not? But she thought of another very important question. Sasori, your mother-in-law is very pleased that you have grown up. I support your ideas, but I also have a question for you. Sasori was very happy to hear that Chio's mother-in-law said that she was very pleased and supported her ideas. Therefore, mother-in-law Chio said she wanted to ask him a question, and he readily agreed. Mother-in-law Chio, ask. After getting Sasori's reply, Chio's mother-in-law asked her question. You transformed yourself into a puppet body, have you ever thought about getting married and having children? Can you still get married and have children with a body like yours? When asked this question, Chio's mother-in-law had a very obvious worry on her face. As for Sasori, but he was stunned involuntarily. He never thought about it. but looking at the care and worry on Chio's mother-in-law's face. After pondering for 2 seconds, Sasori replied, "Mother-in-law Chio, don't worry. I still have my flesh and blood, and as long as I have the right object, I can reshape my current body again. It's still possible to get married and have children. That's fine, that's fine." After heaving a sigh of relief, Chio's mother-in-law also felt at ease, and then continued. "Then you can answer the second question now. Why publish the technique and manipulation method of metal puppets? This question is much easier to answer than how to get married and have children." Without any hesitation, Sasori replied unhurriedly. "Because Sunagakur is too weak. Because the publication of knowledge will not reduce my knowledge, but will make everyone stronger. And I am a genius, and there are other geniuses in Sunagakur. As long as they create some new technology based on my knowledge, my strength will also become stronger. Mother-in-law Chio, don't be constrained by tradition. If we Sunagakur want to continue to grow and become prosperous, we must popularize education and publicize knowledge. As I said today, if Sunagakur's ninjas have the fighting power to crush tailed beasts, would Sunagakur still be what it is now? We're going to be strong, we're going to be rich." Seeing Sasori, who was full of confidence and high spirits, Chio's mother-in-law couldn't help being stunned. She thought about it carefully, and Sasori said it was really good. "And his strength is so powerful. It seems that he is really old and should retire. With Sasori's strength, presumably no one can compete with him for the position of 4th Raikage. In this case, then let Sasori call the shots. Looks like I'm getting really old." "Sasori, what you said makes perfect sense. Then how Sunagakur develops next is up to you. Ebizo and I will do our best to assist you and not let you have any worries." "Well, thank you mother-in-law Chio for her support. I will never let down the trust and support of you and Grandpa Ebizo, Granny Chio." Finally, I had a few words with Chio's mother-in-law. Anbu of Iwagakure met Sasori. "Tell Sasori that Onogi wants to see him and talk to him about the alliance." And that's exactly what Sasori wanted. In this way, at dinner time, Sasori meets Onogi. At the first sight of Sasori, Onogi was surprised to find that Sasori's body is not flesh and blood, but metal. He actually transformed his body. This is simply incredible. Genius. Monster genius. Without concealing the shock in his eyes, Onogi said hello. "It's really a hero out of a boy. Sasori, your puppet skills are beyond my imagination." Actually transformed himself into his own body, gave up his flesh and blood, and forged a metal body. It's hard to imagine that there is such a magical puppet technique in this world. Hearing Onogi's compliments, Sasori's expression was calm, and he replied in a flat tone. "Third Tsuchikage is overrated. I don't like hearing those words, and I'm not here today to hear your compliments. Let's get straight to the point. I need a lot of metals and minerals, and I also need certain materials. As long as you agree to Third Tsuchikage, the alliance will continue, and Sunagakur will become the main force to resist Cloud Shinobi Village." Listening to Sasori's request and looking at Sasori's flat expression, Onogi was stunned. He didn't expect Sasori to be so inhumane. This made him uncontrollably angry. But when I think of Sasori's terrifying strength, he quickly calmed down again. Sasori's request is not excessive. I can accept, only. He looked at Sasori's inhuman empty eyes again. Onogi, who was still trying to bargain, stopped. The Sasori doesn't seem like a bargain hunter. And now he occupies the absolute initiative. So you can only compromise. Who? With a heavy sigh of turbid air, Onogi replied. "So be it. You can specify how many metals, minerals, and materials you need. I still need to count on this. But it won't be too much, please rest assured Third Tsuchikage." Sasori replied calmly. "Okay." Onogi also compromised. 3 days later, the armies of both sides regrouped. And standing in front of the army are Hatake Tsukumo, who goes by the pseudonym Shiroshi, and Sasori, who is driving the magnetic storm red Sasori. Who is this guy? This special feeling, familiar yet unfamiliar. And very powerful. Sasori's eyes narrowed, and a thought flashed in his eyes. Is it Baizan's subordinate? Or is he a genius like me and received a gift from Baizan? Anyway, this man must be related to Baizan. And very powerful. Thinking of this, Sasori's face also showed some seriousness. As for Hatake Tsukumo, he naturally knew that Sasori was related to Bai-Zan-kun. This metal puppet, he knew at a glance that it was transformed from the original Dongwang battle clothes, and the core technology was very similar. This also made Hatake Tsukumo's heart a little more serious. After all, this is Bai-Zan-kun's handwriting. Strength will never be weak. Certainly, Hatake Tsukumo is also very confident. You will never lose. It's just that he couldn't defeat the opponent easily. Looking at Sasori on the opposite side, and at Hatake Tsukumo, Ai's heart also felt a little uneasy. Sasori is very powerful, able to crush Tailed Beast Bomb with a puppet, and crush 8 Tails Gyuki with one move with both hands. Shiroshi's strength is also very strong, that is about to reach the ultimate sword technique, which can easily divide a mountain into 2. He didn't know who was stronger and who was weaker. So he desperately wanted to know the answer. Only if Shiroshi can hold back the other party, his father can have enough time to practice, so that the master's powerful ninjutsu called Chakra fission technique. Only if the strength of Third Raikage can be greatly improved. In order to defeat this powerful puppet master called Sasori. To win the Third Ninja War. Only then can we dominate the whole world, complete the great unification of the world, pacify this troubled world called Shinobi Village, and achieve true peace. Mr. Shiroshi, please do it. Good. After receiving Hatake Tsukumo's reply, I directly gave orders to the Cloud Shinobi army behind him. Army attack. Yes. War. Immediately. On the opposite side, Sasori stared at Hatake Tsukumo, and ordered in a flat but confident voice. The whole army strikes. Yes. 2 tens of thousands of ninja armies rushed towards the opposite side. Sasori and Hatake Tsukumo, who were standing at the forefront of the army, came to each other in an instant, in the center of the battlefield. Tai draws the sword. The invisible chakra radiated sword energy slashed out in an instant. Although he couldn't see the attack, Sasori opened the electromagnetic shield in advance. The magnetic storm coil turned, and red lightning suddenly burst out, covering the body of the magnetic storm red Sasori like a dragon and snake, condensing into a set of heavy armor. Hook the magnetic field of the planet, and the invisible electromagnetic shield unfolds. In the next instant, the radiation knife gas flashed on the electromagnetic shield. Ohm. A harsh humming sound suddenly sounded, causing all the ninjas present to frown involuntarily, and even stopped involuntarily. There were even some relatively weak ninjas who covered their ears unbearably, showing a painful expression. Even among the vegetation, many small creatures died instantly. Back, hurry up and get away from Shiroshi-sama. Don't get close to the battlefield where Sasori-sama is. We cannot resist the aftermath of Sasori-sama's battle. Soon, the battlefield is divided. Hatake Tsukumo and Sasori, who were not disturbed by anyone, showed their strongest fighting ability. Hatake Tsukumo's ninja sword Taichi is like a white light. With the constant waving, the white light seemed to merge into the sunlight and disappeared. And that one after another of radiating knife energy, although invisible, is destroying the surrounding environment unscrupulously. The hills in the distance were cut off. The surrounding ground appeared one after another of smooth cuts, and the cuts were so deep that ordinary people couldn't see the end at all. As for Sasori, although the body is under the protection of the electromagnetic shield. However, Sasori's hard body still had a few more scratches. This also made Sasori even more afraid of Hatake Tsukumo. What a terrifying sword technique. It can actually cut through the electromagnetic shield that hooked the planet's magnetic field, and even left scratches on my magnetic storm red Sasori. This person's strength is too strong. While thinking, Sasori also controlled the magnetic storm red Sasori to attack. The red lightning was held in Sasori's hand, and it was drawn towards Hatake Tsukumo like a long whip. Although it is always cut off by the radiating knife energy, it still produces some effects. The long whip turned into red lightning slapped the ground, smashing the ground almost in an instant, and the terrifying momentum was like a thunder explosion. Boom! With a roar, the dense rubble sputtered in all directions, and naturally also shot towards Hatake Tsukumo. Certainly, there is also a radiation coat on Hatake Tsukumo's body, which can easily resist these aftermath. But the sputtering red lightning can still cause some disturbance. In particular, magnetic storm red Sasori's attack means more than just manipulating red lightning. And also, Sasori tail rail gun. While manipulating red lightning to interfere with Hatake Tsukumo, he kept firing railguns to attack. This is the strongest firepower of the magnetic storm red Sasori. Control plus output. Boom, boom. One after another, the electromagnetic cannon ripped through the sound barrier, wrapped in huge kinetic energy, and entwined with red lightning, and blasted towards Hatake Tsukumo fiercely. This also forced Hatake Tsukumo to dodge. Earth, hills, vegetation, trees. Everything around was shattered by the terrifying aftermath of their battle. Boom, boom. Gravel sputtered, dust flew, sawdust scattered, vegetation withered, and one after another cracks appeared on the ground, crisscrossing. Makes the earth a mess, unsightly. Swipe your sword while dodging. The radiating sword energy slashed towards Sasori one after another like a wave. It also left many scratches on the burly and tough magnetic storm red Sasori. And the scratches are too many. That scratch is no longer a scratch, but scars, severe wounds or injuries. If you are seriously injured, you will die. Buzz, buzz. A harsh screeching sound entered his ears, causing Sasori to frown involuntarily. Although he is fighting with all his strength, his powerful soul still allows him to think. Such a powerful ninja cannot be an unknown person. And such a powerful sword technique seems very familiar. Related to Baisan, Konoha's White Fang's son is Baisan's classmate and teammate. With Baisan's wisdom, he may have guessed that it was a political fight when the rumors spread, and that Hatake White Fang would commit suicide. Baisan cherishes genius, or genius as part of his plan. He wants to give knowledge to genius, and let the genius expand this knowledge, so as to give birth to precious results. In the end, it's up to him to harvest. Konoha's White Fang was undoubtedly a genius, so Baisan would not let Konoha's White Fang die in such a stupid and unquestioning political struggle. This is such a waste. Quote, so he took this opportunity, rescued White Fang, made White Fang change his face, left Konoha, and planned something in the ninja world. Even this war was started by Baisan with the pawn of Konoha's White Fang. Otherwise Konoha's White Fang would not have appeared in Cloud Shinobi Village, it would have appeared opposite me. Very reasonable, hee. It's really an incredible means. Strength is like a chessboard, and all beings are chess pieces. Baisan-kun, what kind of game are you playing? Are there any chess players across from you? Although I am still a pawn in your hand now. But I won't be a pawn all the time. Wait, Baisan-kun, I will turn from a pawn to a chess player, I will play this chess game with you. Look who can laugh at the end and win this game. The soul could not help burning up. Sasori is very excited now, feeling very exciting. Although there is no flesh and blood, he still feels that the blood in his body has boiled. Soul, trembling. The trembling soul was unusually active. Sasori began to speculate on Baisan's next reaction. I believe that Baisan-kun also understands my wisdom, so you should know that I can deduce that the person in front of me is Konoha's White Fang. So he's not afraid of me breaking the news that Konoha's White Fang is not dead. Looks like he's in Konoha, and even in Cloud Shinobi Village. In this case, all I can do now is to slowly dormant. Fourth, Sasori also felt that being dormant was a shame. He believed in his own talent and wisdom. More believe in the amazing potential of Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. As long as he keeps transforming, upgrading, and optimizing the Magnetic Storm Red Sasori. Magnetic Storm Red Sasori will be able to completely dominate the planet's magnetic field sooner or later. By the time he is the planet, on this planet, he is the symbol of invincibility. More importantly, Cyclone Red Sasori is just a metal puppet. He can also design and create more metal golems. He can also transform his puppet body. He can also manipulate more metal golems. He was also able to develop Sunagaker, training more puppet masters capable of crafting and manipulating metal puppets. He has an infinite future. Although I knew the real killer of my parents was Third Raikage. But Konoha's White Fang, after all, you killed my parents with your own hands. Although I can't kill you now. But sooner or later I will kill you and complete my revenge. Ling Lai's murderous tongue appeared in his eyes. Sasori's attacks became more violent, more ferocious, and more powerful. This also gave Hatake Tsukumo a little wariness in his heart. You want to kill me? Is it possible? You are mad, I am even more mad. You are cruel, I am even more cruel. You are strong, I am stronger. See who is stronger. After 2 months, Bison looked at the lines of words, numbers, symbols, and formulas on the scroll, and his eyes couldn't help showing a bit of satisfaction and joy. Sage Art Wanwa creation is finally complete. By simulating the radiation of stars through electromagnetic force, Chakra obtains the characteristics of materialization. Combined with Sage Art Inorganic Reincarnation, the materialized Chakra gains vitality. And use the Grand Unified Electromagnetic Field for manipulation. Finally, after some optimization and adjustment, Bison developed this powerful creation magic. After one last look, Bison left the room after confirming that he had completely mastered the magic. Came to a remote clearing. Bison concentrates his mind and turns the Grand Unified Electromagnetic Field. Silently, the dark purple magic chakra suddenly overflowed. Differentiate into one after another purple light, under the control of Bison. These hundreds of purple lights turned into sharp swords one after another. The sharp sword made of purple light hovered around Bison's body, flying around like dragons and snakes. Looking at the scene in front of him, Bison's eyes could not help revealing a bit of strangeness. That's really cool. It's like the swordsmanship in Shenxia novels. And I can control thousands of flying swords in one breath. With Bison's thoughts moving, these thousands of purple flying swords, under Bison's control, suddenly went up, then down, suddenly turned in a circle, and then turned into a storm. Very flexible, just like a living elf. Or in other words, a spirit sword with a sword spirit. The next step is to increase the difficulty. With a condensed gaze, the thousands of purple flying swords were suddenly lifted into the air under the control of Bison, and quickly merged in the process. But between breaths, thousands of purple flying swords were merged into a purple giant sword with a length of 700 meters. The giant sword flies into the air, and if everything is done lightly, it must be able to cut off the mountains with ease. However, this is just the beginning. After all, the shape of the giant sword is not as complicated as the shape of the living creature. Even if it has vitality, it can't show it. So the next moment, the purple light giant sword continued to fly into the air, and rapidly deformed in the process. Dragon scales grow, dragon horns, dragon heads, dragon bodies, dragon tails, dragon whiskers, dragon claws, also appear one by one. But between breaths, the purple light giant sword turned into a purple light giant dragon. 3,000 meters in the sky. The purple light dragon takes shape. Then it dropped suddenly under the control of Bison. Looking up at the lifelike purple dragon, Bison couldn't help but praise. So handsome. Hockey. Between the lightning and flint, a 500-meter-long purple light giant dragon circled around Bison's sinuous body. Putting his palms on the scales, feeling the metal-like hard texture, Bison showed a satisfied expression. Very good. The fighting power of this purple dragon will not be weaker than that of the tailed beast. Then thinking of this, Bison couldn't help but suddenly stunned. This purple light giant dragon's combat power is no weaker than that of the tailed beast. So, can it replace the tailed beast and be sealed into the ninja's body? It has life but no consciousness. So it is like a puppet, completely obeying the master's orders. Let it replace the tail beast. Is Jinchuriki able to harness its power perfectly? Would that make it possible to develop a combat state similar to Kurama mode? Even the battle form of the heavy particle mode. That's super cage level power. Bison was stunned, and there was a little depth in his eyes. Looking at this purple dragon, Bison felt that he could create a life by transforming Sage Art Wanwa. Create a sage art that creates a chakra-like being, a celestial being of the purple dragon. This sage art allows ninjas to create a chakra life form, which they think is the strongest, and seal it in their bodies. By feeding the magic chakra, the life form of the magic chakra can be made stronger. In this way, ninjas can have the power and abilities of Jinchuriki without even the side effects of Jinchuriki. Thus, these fairy beasts, Jinchuriki, can develop special fighting forms similar to Kurama mode and heavy particle mode, thereby gaining super cage level power. Unexpected inspiration. This magic can be written into my plan and used to popularize it. Radiation of the Immortals, Radiation of the Stars, Immortal Beast Technique. These superpositions seem to be able to mass-produce super cage level ninjas. After a slight pause, Bison restrained his thoughts and turned his attention to the purple light giant dragon. With a thought, the purple light dragon suddenly circled under the control of Bison and split rapidly in the process. But in the blink of an eye, hundreds of 100-meter-long purple light dragons surrounded Bison's body, looking extremely spectacular. If you make a carriage, and then let these 100 purple light dragons pull the carriage, what kind of spectacular scene would it be? Ninja world, really turned into a fantasy world by myself. Certainly, the fantasy here is a relatively low-level map in the fantasy. Next is the final test. After thinking to himself, Bison immediately thought. But between lightning and flint, hundreds of purple light flood dragons suddenly soared and circled, forming a huge spiral. They gathered together, and then deformed and twisted to form an extraordinary purple light giant. This purple light giant is like a god, wearing heavy armor and holding a giant sword. Not only lifelike, but also extremely delicate and magnificent. Really like the gods in mythology. The 300-meter high tension is like a majestic mountain, the Haki is full, and the Kamui is like a prison. With such a body type, the power of Zigwang Tianshan is comparable to that of a complete Susanoo, which is a powerful power beyond cage level. Susanoo is a powerful pupil art that can only be mastered by the Mangekyo Sharingan. Just turn it on. It represents the power of cage level. Even Susanoo in its initial form. The original form of Suzuo BBDC can only change into arms and ribs, which can be used for various purposes such as attack, defense, protection, and control. The body is not completely wrapped by Susanoo, but leaves a large gap, but the defense is enough to resist most attacks. On top of the initial form, Susanoo has many more forms. The first form, the shape is skeleton-shaped, chakra will completely cover the body, and the defense will be further improved, but there are still gaps in the soles of the feet, and the defense can be broken by 2 violent attacks. At this time, Susanoo can hold some simple weapons, such as ordinary swords, etc., and the attack methods are ordinary physical attacks. The second form, on the basis of the skeleton, it is covered with meridians and flesh and blood, and it is wrapped by a code-shaped chakra, which can unlock the spell seal, and can use its own weapons and ninjutsu, such as Yata mirror, bow and arrow, etc. This type of Susanoo is the best in terms of balance, and Madara and Sasuke used this form a lot before gaining the power of 6 paths. At the same time, Susanoo in this state can use the general long-range attack ninjutsu, Tomo of Yasaka. The third form, adding the Watengu armor to the original foundation of Susanoo, the defense is greatly improved, and the weapons that can be used are also more abundant, such as the 10-fist sword, flame control sword, etc. This kind of Susanoo is very powerful, but the consumption of chakra has also increased greatly, and it is extremely unstable. It is difficult for ordinary Mangekyo to maintain this form for a long time. Fourth form, on the basis of the original second form, the lower body and legs are added, and the volume is also greatly increased. The practitioner will be located on Susanoo's head. As for weapons, you can use not only the original Susanoo unique weapons, but also the Susanoo sword, which has a large attack range. The form between the second form and the complete body, while retaining the balance and full capabilities of the second form, adds excellent mobility and makes up for the original defense gap under the feet. Susanoo in this form can be equipped on the tail beast as an armor, and can use Ghost Susanoo. And above the fourth form, it is the complete Susanoo. And the Susanoo of the safe body is also called the real Susanoo, the complete Susanoo body that can only be opened by those who have exerted the pupil power of Mangekyo Sharingan to the ultimate and have a huge chakra themselves. At this time, Susanoo has become extremely large, comparable to a mountain, and chakra tends to be stable. Its strength can not only easily split mountains and meteorites, but also has the ability to fly, and at the same time, it can seal and use the spells that the caster is good at. This is also a powerful force beyond cage level. That is to say, now I have the strength to defeat the ninja Shiro Uchiha Madara who was hiding in the dark and relying on Geto statue to keep him alive. This made Bison feel a little relieved. Because that means as long as Sage of 6 Paths doesn't climb out of the Pure Land. In this world, you are already invincible. This made Bison raise the corners of his mouth, revealing a rare arrogant smile. Under the age of 10, when you arrive at Chaoyang, you will be invincible in the world. As expected of me. After 3 seconds of pride, Bison patted Zigwang Tianshan's armor lightly, and then his mind moved, making Ziguang Tiantian turn into a ball of purple light and reintegrated into his body. After simply testing Sage Art Wanwa creation, Baisan also came to a conclusion. Although the effect of Sage Art Wanwa creation is completely in line with my expectations, but I also found some problems. Although under the leadership of Sage Art Wanwa creation, Chakra will take on the form of purple light, but not real light, without the speed of light. If I can affect the wave state through electromagnetic force, it seems that I can further upgrade Sage Art Wanwa creation. Purple light with wave state properties is the real light. Not only can it have the speed of light, but it can also be immune to most attacks in the world. And the faster the speed, the stronger the kinetic energy and the greater the destructive power. Therefore, the master wave state can greatly enhance the speed, defense, and attack of the Ziguang Tiantian. Very good. In that case, then my next mission is to study the relationship between chakra, the electromagnetic force, and the wave state. Cloud Shinobi Village. On top of a high mountain. The burly body of Third Raikage shone with strands of pitch-black lightning. Chakra fission technique. He is already Tilda Operator Master. And the magic of this technique is beyond his imagination. He actually used the chakra fission technique to combine the lightning style chakra mode and the Black Thunder secret technique. Chakra fission technique, lightning style chakra mode, and Black Thunder mystery. The three techniques are perfectly integrated to form a whole. Also born a ninjutsu that makes Third Raikage amazed. Nuclear power boost katakana middle dot Black Thunder chakra mode. Look up at the sky. Dark clouds make up on the gloomy sky. One after another, dazzling lightning flashed through the dark clouds. Boom long, rolling thunder sounded, but between the light and flint, a thick lightning struck down, as if to tear the world apart. Crack. This lightning, he seemed to be attracted by the jet-black electric current on Third Raikage's body. Falling on Third Raikage in an instant. The hair stood up suddenly, although it was painful. Third Raikage was not injured, but swallowed the thunder and lightning into his body without leaving a trace. This lightning is absorbed by the body, and a huge electric current is felt in the body, and in the process of swimming, it pours into the cells. This makes the body a little stronger. This feeling of increased power. It really made Third Raikage painful and happy. Happy. Can't help it. Third Raikage shouted. Under the action of nuclear power propulsion Black Thunder chakra mode. Not only can it absorb lightning to strengthen the body, and along with his physique getting stronger little by little, Third Raikage also discovered some special changes in himself. Eagle S sight, bat S hearing, spider S shock sensing, rattlesnake S heat sight, etc. He has acquired many special abilities. Besides, the chakra itself has also received huge changes. Even if you don't characterize it, your chakra will exist in your body in the form of pitch black thunder and lightning, and it will continue to circulate. And this special Black Thunder chakra has a huge impact on the body. This made Third Raikage feel like he might have developed a whole new bloodline limit. And it is the top bloodline limit comparable to Sharingan. Eagle S sight, bat S hearing, spider S shock sensing, rattlesnake S heat sight. These special abilities are only the basic abilities of the Black Thunder Blood Legion. By mobilizing Hele chakra, he was able to increase his physical fitness extremely terribly. Feeling that his body was full of electricity, Third Raikage let out a sigh of relief and showed a satisfied expression. Lifting his arms and watching the muscles bulge high, this powerful force really made Third Raikage very enjoyable. Too strong, really too strong. My physique is more than 10 times stronger than the previous me. And the power of Black Thunder chakra is far beyond my imagination. Having said this, Third Raikage looked at the thunderclouds in the sky again. Crack, watching a flash of lightning strike him suddenly. His figure just flickered slightly. It was very easy to dodge the lightning attack. Such a speed of reaction, such a speed of movement. It was appalling. To know, what Third Raikage is best at is not speed, but defense and attack. Since the training has been completed, then it's time to return to the battlefield. I can't wait to vent my terrifying power. That puppet master called Sasori. Hope your puppets get stronger. With that said, Third Raikage also showed a wicked smile. And in the next moment, the figure of Third Raikage suddenly disappeared in place. It was like a dark lightning flashed across the void. In less than a second, he appeared at the foot of the mountain. In the battlefield camp, When I saw Third Raikage, a happy expression appeared on his face. Dad, you have finally completed your practice. Seeing his son, Third Raikage also showed a smile, patted his son's shoulder lightly, and said, "Yeah, Dad, I finally finished my cultivation. Next, let the world see what is the unparalleled physique in the world." Hearing that Third Raikage actually used the word, unparalleled in the world, to describe himself, eyes widened. He knows, his own father, in terms of combat effectiveness, will not talk big. Because if the combat power does not match, not only is it possible to fail the task, more likely to die, his own father is Third Raikage. How could one go wrong with something like this? His father had seen the power of Lord Shiroshi, and he dared to say that he had a physique that was unparalleled in the world. Could it be that your father has surpassed Shiroshi-sama? This is so curious. Stinky boy, don't worry, you'll be able to see it right away. Your father, Third Raikage, what kind of power did the master have during this time? And this, it will also be that you need the master, and you will definitely have the power of the master. After all, Third Raikage asked his son to take him to see Shiroshi. Hitaki Tsukumo's eyes are so sharp, the first moment he saw Third Raikage, he discovered the abnormality of Third Raikage. Immediately he said, "It seems that Third Raikage has not only mastered the chakra fission technique during this period, but also has an amazing windfall. Although his strength has been greatly improved, he also feels that he can defeat Shiroshi now. But defeat is just defeat, not kill. So Third Raikage doesn't plan to turn against Hitaki Tsukumo. A little gain indeed." Showing a bold smile, Third Raikage said while taking out a scroll. "Mr. Shiroshi, this is your reward, please count it. Next, I can handle it alone. If Mr. Shiroshi is interested, you can also watch the game." Hitaki Tsukumo doesn't believe Third Raikage will play tricks on compensation. Therefore, he did not count it, took the scroll and put it away, and then replied, "Of course I'm interested. I'm also curious about what the Third Raikage has to offer. Okay, I believe my harvest will not disappoint you." With a final reply, Third Raikage came to the front. Although both sides are resting, there are still guards. When Third Raikage appeared on the front line, Sasori also got the news at the first time and came to the front line. "You are Sasori. This metal puppet is really handsome. I can't wait to smash it." With that said, Third Raikage also showed a wicked smile. Seeing Third Raikage's arrogant appearance, Sasori's eyes did not have the slightest surprise. It's no secret that Third Raikage is not on the front lines but practicing. This also makes Sasori very easy to guess. Bison's pawn at Cloud Shinobi Village is Third Raikage. Just look at the rampant appearance of Third Raikage's, "I'm number one in the world." Apparently he didn't know he was Bison's pawn. In this case, even if the strength of Third Raikage may be stronger than himself. But that didn't stop Sasori from disliking Third Raikage. "Stupid, wait until you're done saying it. And I'm a puppet master, so what if you can break one of my puppets? Do you know how many puppets I have? Just gaining some power and losing your mind. To be so carried away, so arrogant, what a foolish reckless man. Maybe one day in the future, he will accidentally fall into a trap and die." Sasori's understated mockery also made Third Raikage's anger burn. He knows, he probably couldn't say enough about this called Sasori. So, just start playing. Boom. Accompanied by a roaring sound, dark and deep terrifying lightning suddenly burst out from Third Raikage's body, like a volcano erupting. Crackling. Crackle. A terrifying aura swept across the world in an instant, and Third Raikage, who turned into pitch-black lightning, charged straight towards magnetic storm red Sasori. Such momentum, such speed. Everyone present who watched it couldn't help but exclaimed. So fast to speed. What a terrifying aura. Is this the power of Third Raikage's recent master? Really strong. Third Raikage turned into pitch-black lightning, and Sasori, a magnetic storm red, also unfolded red lightning in an instant. Crackling. Crackle. The magnetic storm coil rotates, and the electromagnetic shield suddenly unfolds. Third Raikage, who had just approached the magnetic storm Sasori 10 meters away, also felt the presence of the electromagnetic shield for the first time. This invisible shield that vaguely roared with the earth also made Third Raikage's mind linger. It seems that he still underestimated this Sasori. His defense is so strong. Only, Your defense is strong. My attack power is not weak. In the next instant. Nuclear power boost. Black Thunder Chakra mode. Start up. The pitch black lightning all over the body seemed to condense into a hole at this moment. This hole represents the full power of Third Raikage. Concentrate a bit on this power. Then, Hell Stab 1 stop. As the number of fingers used by the hand decreases, the power of the Hell Thrust will increase accordingly. When Third Raikage uses only one finger, the name of this art is consistent, and it is called the strongest spear that can penetrate everything. As soon as the strongest spear came out, the very fingers began to swallow the red lightning of the magnetic storm red Sasori like an abyss. This scene, it made Third Raikage's eyes light up, and his heart suddenly burst into joy. As for Sasori, he also frowned involuntarily. What kind of power is this that can actually swallow my magnetic storm chile? But this way, it's getting worse. Down, accompanied by the sound of an explosion, pitch black lightning and red thunder and lightning radiated dazzling brilliance at the same time. The dense current sputtered in all directions, and the terrifying thunder was harsher and sharper than the crow's cry. The electromagnetic shield was completely shattered. The invisible power of electromagnetic force forms a gust of wind, unscrupulously venting his strength. The terrifying aftermath set off a circle of ripples. Even a ninja who was 500 meters away from the battlefield could not help but narrow his eyes. The strength is relatively weak, and he couldn't help but take a few steps back. After breaking the electromagnetic shield, Third Raikage finally came to Sasori, the magnetic storm. Although the magnetic storm red Sasori is good at lightning control, as well as fire output. But the melee ability is not weak. The sharp and terrifying Sasori mouth, the ferocious and terrifying Sasori pincers, the flexible and strange Sasori tail, the burly upper body, and the pair of hard iron fists. These all give Sasori a powerful melee ability. What if the electromagnetic shield is broken? On my body, there is a layer of lightning-heavy armor made of red lightning condensed, and there is a hard shell made of metal under the lightning weight. In the next instant, magnetic storm Kai Sasori's hands held the red thunderbolt. Sasori's mouth gnawed towards Third Raikage, a pair of Sasori pliers slashed towards Third Raikage, and Sasori's tail was also extremely flexible. Not to mention the pair of iron fists, holding the red thunderbolt and blasting it fiercely. On melee combat, I've never been afraid. In the face of a huge enemy, Third Raikage will directly lift his right leg. The pitch black thunder instantly converged and condensed into the shape of an axe. Guillotine drop. The original move was just to give the leg strike the power of an axe. But now this trick, but it can directly make the black thunder condense a thunder axe. Just like the god of thunder in mythology holding a thunder axe high. I want to confer judgment on sinners, I want to kill the enemy. Crackling, crackle, how terrifying, how dazzling, how violent, how swift the thunder was. Just one hit, it kicked the magnetic storm red Sasori away. Let it fall from the sky straight to the earth. Boom. A huge pit instantly appeared on the ground. The depth is a full tens of meters, and the dense tortoise cracks have spread to the surrounding area for nearly 100 meters. I don't know so. The vibration generated by the earth was transmitted to the feet of all the ninjas present. Feeling the shaking of the earth, listening to the wailing of the earth, and watching the tragic state of the earth, all the ninjas couldn't help being shocked. Is this still the power that humans can master? Is this still the power a ninja can possess? The enemy is neither human nor human. Because the monster that was 5 meters tall, with a human upper body and a Sasori lower body, was a puppet made of metal. It wasn't human at all. So it is understandable that it is so powerful. But what about Third Raikage? His physique, his strength, has far exceeded the range that this group of ninjas can understand. As expected of the Third Raikage-sama. Raikage-sama is so powerful. Such a powerful physique is simply unparalleled in the world. No, Mr. Sasori's metal puppet was knocked down by Third Raikage, and he even smashed a big hole in the ground. Should you be fine, Sasori-sama? Is this the power of the master that father is now master? Sure enough, the physique is unparalleled in the world. Such power, am I already a master? Thinking of what his father said to him, I couldn't help but feel anticipation, excitement, and blood boiling. As for Hitaki Tsukumo, there was a little contemplation in his eyes. Bison-kun's super electromagnetic armament was originally a ninjutsu similar to lightning-style chakra mode. And the chakra reactor is also a sealing technique developed in conjunction with the super electromagnetic weapon. Originally, I didn't understand why Bison-kun asked me to hand over the chakra reactor to Third Raikage in exchange for Cloud Shinobi Village's ninjutsu. Did not think of the chakra reactor, lightning style chakra mode, and black thunder. These three spells together can produce such a miraculous reaction. If you add super electromagnetic armament, can a more powerful ninjutsu be born? Could Bison-kun also be able to acquire a stronger physique than Third Raikage? It's really foresight. Bison-kun is improving his strength in every aspect. And doing well in every way. He really is the most perfect and most powerful ninja. Feeling the damage of the magnetic storm read Sasori's soul is incomparably calm. Since the Black Thunder mastered by Third Raikage has the ability to devour thunder and lightning, there is no need to continue this battle. Magnetic Storm Kai Sasori is a metal puppet with electromagnetic ball properties. It is so severely restrained, so what else is there to fight? Just right. During these 3 months, he and White Fang kept fighting, and an inspiration was born in his heart. He can totally design and make a brand new metal golem. A metal golem capable of restraining Third Raikage. He has already received the metals and minerals from Third Tsuchikage Onogi. And now he still has a group of subordinates. It can be done in a very short time. So, just use that trick. Final Magnetic Storm. Without any hesitation, Sasori started the Magnetic Storm read Sasori's final self-destruction program, which is also the strongest move of the Magnetic Storm read Sasori master. All of these, it all happened between the electric light and flint. The Magnetic Storm read Sasori, which fell into the deep pit, suddenly flew into the air and slammed into Third Raikage like a cannonball. Looking at this scene, Third Raikage, who had already prepared, showed some disdain in his eyes, and a little cruelty on his face. The right leg is raised again. Crackling, crackle. Accompanied by pitch-black lightning, it condensed into a huge axe. The red thunderbolt on Sasori's body also disappeared in an instant. The storm coil then reversed. The invisible electromagnetic force unfolded in an instant, hooking up with the planet's magnetic field. Then, magnetic storm is happening. The invisible electromagnetic force formed a terrifying storm, and the high-energy particles in the void instantly settled down, releasing extremely terrifying energy. The temperature rose to thousands of degrees in an instant, and the scorching high temperature was enveloped by the storm, resulting in an extremely amazing explosion. This scene was seen by Third Raikage, and his heart trembled. He didn't think of it at all. It's just a thwarted Sasori. Actually choose the self-destruction attack directly. So crazy. Such a terrifying high temperature made his face extremely ugly. His keen senses told himself, although he will not die, but will be seriously injured. This trick, it's really scary. Too late to think about it. The terrifying explosion has come. Boom. The red electric light suddenly flourished. Like a miniature sun rising suddenly. A scene like a solar storm emerges. Even if they are thousands of miles apart. Still affected by the big explosion. Countless ninjas showed expressions of pain, and many people curled up on the ground, their bodies trembling and twitching involuntarily, and they lost their combat effectiveness in an instant due to the magnetic storm. Sasori, who lost the magnetic storm read Sasori, looked at Third Raikage, whose body was scorched black and bloody, and said in the calmest voice, I just use one of my metal puppets as a price, and a small self-destruction can seriously injure you. You should be glad that my second metal puppet is not finished. Otherwise, you will surely die here today. Hearing Sasori's words, Third Raikage's expression turned gloomy. He knows. This time I was too arrogant. Also clearly. If Sasori really has a second metal golem, I'm going to die here today. As a loser, everything you say is wrong. So he didn't reply to Sasori. Just watched Sasori warily. At the same time, he worked hard to mobilize Hele Chakra to recover his injury. And ready to run away at any time. Certainly, Sasori also knew that he couldn't stop Third Raikage from escaping, so he didn't plan to do anything. Just looking at the silent Third Raikage, after a slight pause, he said in a pointed tone. You are arrogant because of your own power. Although your power is indeed very powerful, far exceeding that of ordinary ninjas. But have you ever wondered why you became so powerful? Is it because of your own efforts? Or is there any other reason? Think about it for yourself. Don't be a pawn without knowing it. It's arrogant and ignorant. After saying this last sentence, Sasori turned around and left. Looking at Sasori's back, the silent Third Raikage fell into deep thought. This Sasori seems to know something. My power. My power is so strong because of the chakra fission technique and because of Shiroshi. Is there something wrong with this Shiroshi? He gave me the chakra fission technique to take advantage of me. Peace. I am Third Raikage. Who can use me as a pawn? Maybe. The man in Shiroshi's mouth. The exchange of knowledge will not reduce knowledge, but will bring out the value of knowledge and make us all stronger. Because of this sentence, Shiroshi possesses great power. He also has great power. This is far more powerful than ordinary ninjas, and even more powerful than ordinary cage-level ninjas. Could it be that this Sasori also acquired some kind of knowledge to make such a powerful metal golem? This conjecture came out. Third Raikage couldn't help but set off a storm in his heart. If the truth of the matter is so how many powerful ninjas are hidden in the ninja world? My power. Is it really unparalleled in the world? And the guy who exchanges knowledge everywhere. How powerful is it now? Think of this. Third Raikage suddenly shuddered. Chapter 91. Maybe Sasori is right. I'm just arrogant and ignorant. Just who would have thought that there is still such a terrifying man behind the scenes in the ninja world? After another 7 seconds of recovery, Third Raikage returned to camp. The two sides entered a truce again. Back at the camp, Third Raikage wanted to ask Shiroshi some questions, but found out that Shiroshi had gone. This made Third Raikage more and more convinced that his guess was correct. There is indeed a very terrifying behind-the-scenes mastermind in the ninja world. And he has indeed become a pawn of the black man behind the scenes. But, is there any way I cannot use this chess piece and not be used? The mastermind behind the scenes used Yang conspiracy. It is impossible for me to refuse power, and I am not qualified to refuse power. If rejected, wouldn't that make it even more impossible to resist? As Third Raikage, he has seen many tragedies and many deaths. In this world, strength is the most important thing. No power. If someone wants to kill you, how should you resist? No power. You are nothing. The strong can arbitrarily plunder your life, your property, and even your everything. The weak eat the strong. This is the law of this cruel world. All good things, all need strength to protect. As Third Raikage, he must protect Cloud Shinobi Village. For this he needs great strength. It's really a feeling of powerlessness. This feeling. How long has it been since I felt it? Quote. Power. Only by constantly becoming stronger, so strong that it is invincible in the world. Maybe I'll be able to achieve my ideals. Unify the world and achieve peace. As for the man behind the scenes, thinking of the horror of chakra fission technique, Third Raikage can have a general imagination. The power of this man behind the scenes. Perhaps far beyond his imagination and cognition. At the same time, Bison meets Hitaki Tsukumo. Mr. Tsukumo, you did a good job. The situation of Cloud Shinobi, Rock Shinobi, and Sand Shinobi. Just as Bison speculated, there was not the slightest problem. Hitaki Tsukumo also lived up to Bison's expectations and did a very good job. Hearing Bison's praise and seeing Bison's sincere expression, Hitaki Tsukumo also smiled slightly. These are all things I should do. However, Bison-kun, your skills and vision are beyond my imagination. That Sasori metal puppet was probably transformed from Bison-kun's Dongwang suit. It's unimaginably powerful, and I think that Sasori is also a genius, and he will definitely be able to design and develop more and more powerful metal golems in the future. It's beyond my comprehension to see the full potential of the metal golem. And that Third Raikage, I didn't expect that the chakra reactor combined with lightning-style chakra mode and black thunder technique could produce such a miraculous reaction. Third Raikage's physique seems to have surpassed the limits of human beings and has undergone some subtle changes. Listening to Hitaki Tsukumo's remarks, Bison was not surprised at all. A metal puppet is a machine, a mecha. With Sasori's talent, plus his own help, it must be able to fully exploit the full potential of mechanics. It may even be possible to make interstellar combat mechs in the future. As for Third Raikage, the chakra reactor was originally used to cooperate with the Super Electromagnetic Armament Institute to develop the magic seal technique. Isn't it natural to have a special reaction with lightning style chakra mode? And that black thunder technique. But it is a further nature transformation of lightning style chakra. Since it is related to chakra's nature transformation, it must be affected by the chakra reactor. It's just that although Bison predicted that these 3 spells could be superimposed, he couldn't be sure. Now that there is a successful case of Third Raikage, then you can safely integrate lightning style chakra mode and black thunder technique into magnet style super electromagnetic armament. This will definitely make the magnet style super electromagnetic armament further enhanced, especially in the transformation of the nervous system. To know, lightning style chakra mode has the function of enhancing the reaction speed. And, because of the success story of Third Raikage, it must be very easy to upgrade the magnet style super electromagnetic weapon this time. It can take up to 3 days to complete. Thinking of this, Bison restrained his thoughts. Then he continued to say, Sasori and Third Raikage are really in my plans. After all, if they are too weak, that would not be able to force Shimura Danzo out, much less cause Shimura Danzo trouble. Because I got a piece of information from Orochimaru Senpai. Shimura Danzo transformed his body and gained the power of wood style. With just one sentence, Hatake Sakumo couldn't help clenching his fists. Although he trusts Bison very much, I believe that Bison's plan will definitely be completed. He will also be able to complete his revenge, kill Shimura Danzo, find evidence, clear his injustice, return to Konoha, and be reunited with Kakashi. But, that's wood style. The wood style of the god of ninjas, the wood style of the peaceful Sengoku, the wood style that can easily create a forest, is comparable to the wood style of the power of the gods. It never occurred to him. Shimura Danzo actually got wood style. This is pretty bad news. Seeing Hatake Sakumo's reaction, Bison knew he was thinking too much, and then explained. Mr. Sakumo, don't think too much. Shimura Danzo is not the god of ninjas, although he has the power of wood style. Although Shimura Danzo is not weak now, he is no stronger than you, Mr. Sakumo. With my help, as long as I lead him out, I have absolute certainty to kill him. Hearing Bison's explanation, Hatake Sakumo disappeared for a moment, and then he couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. So this is all. Then there's no problem. I believe there will be no problem with Bison-kun's plan. After nodding in response, Bison continued. Since Cloud Shinobi Village cannot take Sunagakur and Iwagakure, their war will not last long. Up to 2 months, they will tentatively attack Konoha and Mist Shinobi. And Konoha will be fine with me and brother Minato. As for Kurigakure, maybe I need to trouble you, Sakumo-senpai. And according to my estimation, the probability of Shimura Danzo going to Kurigakure is high. At that time, Mr. Sakumo, you may be able to wait for the rabbit. Along with Bison's words, Hatake Sakumo's ears were heard. Hatake Sakumo also nodded slightly and replied, I see, that's how it is arranged. After saying this, Bison changed his words and started to say the last thing, and the most important thing. At last, please also tell me about the development of Snow Country, Mr. Sakumo. After a slight pause, Hatake Sakumo nodded lightly, and leisurely described the development progress of the Snow Country. Technology, population, industry, economy, production, education, military. With the help of ninjas, coupled with Bison's knowledge from modern times, the development of Snow Country is really fast. In the current Snow Country, the construction of the railway has been completed, and 8 heavy industry factories have been built and put into production. 4 more factories are nearing completion. The progress of modernization is very fast. Very good. Up to 3 years, it will be possible to popularize chakra education and deliver the power of chakra to all human beings. It's time. You can sweep those rotten nobles into the garbage. That rubbish really should be swept away. Hearing Bison's words, Hatake Sakumo replied with approval. Although at first, like everyone in the ninja world, he felt that the existence of those nobles was normal and deserved. It would be strange without the noble. How can the stability of human society be maintained without the aristocracy? But since listening to Bison's explanation, I have seen many phenomena in the ninja world. The current Hatake Sakumo also understood the disgust of the nobles. They are rubbish, exploiters, worms of human civilization, and rubbish that hinders the development of human civilization. These rubbish. It should really disappear. Not much to say. After a few words of greetings, Bison and Hatake Tsukumo said goodbye to each other. After returning home, Bison began to deduce the upgrade plan of magnet-style super electromagnetic armament. Magnet-style super electromagnetic arms, lightning-style chakra mode, and black thunder technique. Lightning-style chakra mode. By concentrating the lightning-style chakra on the whole body, so that the whole body is covered with chakra and lightning, the body can be activated and the lightning body can be used, and the defense ability will be greatly improved. At the same time, the lightning burst in the body can increase the conduction speed of nerves. And with the increase of lightning-style chakra, defense and speed will also increase. Rely on this ninjutsu. What can Third Raikage be worth 10,000, and the 10,000 here are ninjas? This shows how precious this technique is. It can be said. This technique has brought lightning-style chakra's enhancement to the human body to the ultimate level. In particular, the enhancement of the human nervous system has saved Bison a lot of time and allowed Bison to do a lot less human experiments. As for the Black Thunder technique, this technique surprised Bison even more. Nature transformation of a more recent part of lightning-style chakra. It's very close to the bloodline limit. And I also see a lot of flaws. Third Raikage is incapable of perfecting this technique. But I have. After perfecting this technique, I might be able to upgrade the magnet style. I can feel it. If the magnet style bloodline limit is upgraded to an opportunity for bloodline elimination. Perhaps in the Halei technique and the blood fusion experiment. After completing the upgrade of magnet style, I can give Sage Artwanwa the characteristics of creating a wave. After 3 days, Bison completed the upgrade of magnet-style super electromagnetic armament. This upgrade, in addition to the enhancement of magnet-style super electromagnetic weapons' magnetic field strength, energy consumption, operating limit, and powerful amplification. One of the biggest changes is the speed of response. After a simple test, Bison concluded that his reaction speed was between 13 milliseconds and 16 milliseconds. And Bison knew. The limit of human reaction speed is currently recognized by the scientific community as 100 milliseconds. The average person is between 200 milliseconds to 300 milliseconds, and the athlete is between 100 milliseconds and 200 milliseconds. Many psychologists have tested the physiological response time of people for more than 100 milliseconds, and the reaction time is faster when excited than when depressed. For example, when people do not wake up or drink alcohol, the reaction time will be greatly prolonged, about 1 second. And researched, the speed of the reaction depends mainly on the human receptors, such as sight and hearing, and other analyzer characteristics and coordination between the central nervous system and neuromuscular. And the quality of response speed is greatly affected by genetic effects. For example, the reaction time of people who have not engaged in special training is usually between 200 milliseconds and 300 ms. And a well-trained athlete can only reach 100 to 200 milliseconds. Therefore, during the training process, the magnitude of the improvement of the reaction speed is very small. But with the upgraded magnet-style super electromagnetic weapon, Bison has a reaction speed between 13 milliseconds and 16 milliseconds. This reaction speed, coupled with Bison's amazing hand speed, enough to make Bison the best esports player. None of them. And, reaction speed is not just for playing games. In combat, the speed of reaction plays a greater role. Such a terrifying reaction speed is combined with Bison's own movement speed and perception ability. Enough to allow Bison to easily evade most attacks in the ninja world. It even includes Namikaze Minato, who has mastered the Flying Thunder God technique. As long as Bison doesn't want to, Namikaze Minato must have missed himself. Very good. The nervous system has finally been transformed, and the current super electromagnetic armament has transformed and increased every aspect of the human body. In combat, magnet-style super electromagnetic armament has no shortcomings. But my purpose in developing magnet-style, the super electromagnetic weapon, is not just to enhance combat effectiveness. I need to use the magnet-style to make myself perfect without any flaws. It's an evolution. The human body has 8 systems. The digestive, respiratory, circulatory, endocrine, nervous, motor, urinary and reproductive systems. The motion system and the God-level system can be deeply transformed. The respiratory, circulatory, endocrine, and urinary systems are slightly modified. The last system will not be mentioned for a while. Bison is well aware of the fragility of the human body. I still remember some data I saw in my previous life. For example, once the heartbeat of ordinary people stops suddenly, the brain tissue will start to lack oxygen. Any longer than 4 minutes can cause permanent damage to brain tissue and even death. There are also normal people who will die if they do not eat or drink for 3 days and 3 nights, so there is a saying that, the golden rescue time of 72 hours, after the earthquake. Of course, some people can hold on longer. For example, the strictly trained special forces can do not eat or drink for more than 3 days while lurking and not moving to save their physical strength. But it depends on how fast the water is lost from the body. Without water, the blood in the body becomes more and more viscous, circulation becomes difficult, blood pressure drops, and heart rate increases rapidly. The existing records are that a person can live up to 73 days without food, but only 1 to 2 weeks without water. There is a healthy adult blood in the body between about 3.8 to 5.6 liters. If you lose more than 15% of your blood, your pulse will speed up and you will feel dizzy and chilled. Losing 30% or more of your body in a short period of time can be life-threatening. And most people lose more than 2,000 milliliters of blood. If there is no immediate rescue measures, they will die soon. The theoretical limit of blood loss is 1.9 to 2.8 liters, which is about 50% of the total human blood. Heartbeat, food, blood, air, temperature. The human body is so fragile. How can we walk in the sea of stars in the universe? If you want to be strong enough to walk in the sea of stars in the universe, you must overcome the many defects and shortcomings of the human body, such as getting rid of dependence on food, air, temperature, and other conditions. This requires deep transformation of the 8 major systems of the human body, such as the digestive system, respiratory system, and circulatory system. In my guesses, it's a fusion of Chakra reactor, lightning style Chakra mode, and Black Thunder techniques Third Raikage. The body should produce an alienation reaction, and the 8 major systems of the human body will all produce alienation. Therefore, many special abilities are derived, such as supervision, superhearing, infrared perception, etc. Because I haven't done research on the human body yet. And I don't know how many mysteries and treasures are hidden in the human body. So I don't want to alienate my body. Because then you might miss the treasures contained in the human body. In this case, how can I continue to strengthen the human body while maintaining its physiology? Sage transformation is one, and the other is 8 inner gates. Sage transformation, needless to say. As for the 8 inner gates, Bison already got it through Mr. Tsunade. Certainly, the current Bison does not need to enter the universe. So don't rush to research. Just a simple idea for now. After concentrating on thinking, Bison found Orochimaru as planned. Bison-kun, you are finally here. The moment he saw Bison, Orochimaru couldn't help showing an excited smile. As the executor of Bison's development plan, witness the industrialization and modernization of Snow Country. The kind of change that can be called a world-changing, really excited Orochimaru. He finally deeply understood the importance of knowledge and technology. I also understand the importance of myself. Many of my thoughts are correct. Others disagree with their own minds. It is because they are ignorant, backward, and stupid. This also made Orochimaru understand deeply. This world history is wrong and needs to be reformed. And it's the changer of this world. This sense of accomplishment filled him with a desire to share. Want all this to tell Bison, to share his excitement and joy. Because Bison is the person who understands him best in the world. It seems that Orochimaru-senpai can't wait to share his joy. In this case, then I'll be all ears. Bison replied with a smile. After receiving Bison's reply, Orochimaru couldn't wait to report the progress of the modern industrialization of Snow Country to Bison one by one. Although Bison got Snow Country's development data from Hitaki Tsukumo a few days ago. But Hitaki Tsukumo is not as rigorous and far-sighted as Orochimaru. Hitaki Tsukumo can only see the surface. But Orochimaru can see the essence. Modernization and industrialization are not just about making money. Their essence is to directly change the mode of production. The mode of production refers to the way in which the materials necessary for social life are obtained. The system of interrelationships between man and nature and between man and man formed in the production process. People generally refer to the material content produced by material means as productive forces, and their social forms as production relations. Both are constructive contents of the mode of production, the material mode of production and the social mode of production. In other words, the mode of production is the dynamic unity of the two in the production process of materials. Changes in production methods. Enough to change every aspect of society. Social relations, social structure, economy, population, education, culture, thought, etc. Hitaki Tsukumo knew that the rotten old nobles would disappear. So what happens after they disappear? What will happen? Hitaki Tsukumo didn't know, but Orochimaru could guess. Humans will have more freedom, which can be used to promote the development of human civilization. The world will enter a state of rapid development. Countless knowledge will be born every day. Human beings will have a deeper and deeper understanding of everything. If you understand fire, you can use fire. To understand the universe is to be able to use the universe. Knowing how to destroy a mountain can destroy a mountain. Knowing how to destroy the sun in the sky can destroy the sun in the sky. And as long as there is enough knowledge, omniscience is omnipotence. Orochimaru, who already knew how to become a fairy, know that you will have a long life. And this long lifespan is enough to learn enough knowledge by himself, and then transform his body little by little to increase his lifespan. Sooner or later one day, he can gain immortality, gain great power of the four, and become a god. Industrialization is just the first step in Baisan's plan. And from this first step, Orochimaru has seen the hope of becoming a god. After Orochimaru finished speaking, Baisan couldn't help raising the corners of his mouth, showing a happy expression, and at the same time praised. The Orochimaru Senpai is indeed the Orochimaru Senpai. Quote, "Not only does the first step of evolution go so perfectly, I can see the distant future from it. This kind of wisdom is really far beyond the ordinary people in the world. I can't help but admire it. If it is the admiration of others, Orochimaru may not care, or even dismiss it. But this is Baisan-kun's admiration, and he Orochimaru is naturally very happy. Although I know Baisan-kun what you said is the truth. But I'm really happy to get Baisan-kun's admiration, Orochimaru. I am also very happy to meet such a genius as Orochimaru Senpai, and to be recognized and helped by Orochimaru Senpai." Said here, both Orochimaru and Baisan showed knowing smiles. Then, Baisan got down to business. The first step of the plan has been completed. We have quite a lot of free time for the next period of time. I would like to conduct a blood fusion experiment with Orochimaru Senpai. What do you think of Orochimaru Senpai? What opinion can I have? Of course it's an honor. The long-awaited Orochimaru smiled and agreed. Then Kabuto went around. Baisan and Orochimaru came to the laboratory. Looking at Yikang sleeping in the nutrition tank, Baisan's eyes also showed a little strange color. The blood legion will change the ninja's chakra, body, spirit, and even blood. Scorch style is a very good bloodline limit. Needless to say about the power of wood style. It's the world's top bloodline limit. Even worse. Wood style and scorch style can produce special chemical reactions. Wood can be burned. Baisan knows that the three elements of combustion are combustibles, accelerants, and ignition sources. 1. Combustibles refer to substances that can react with oxygen in the air or other oxidants, such as wood, paper, cloth, etc. There are some combustible items, which are particularly easy to burn when encountering an open flame, which are called flammable items. The common ones are gasoline, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, etc. 2. Combustion-supporting substances are substances that can help and support the combustion of combustible substances, that is, substances that can oxidize and react with combustible substances, such as air and oxygen. 3. Ignition source refers to the source of energy for the combustion reaction between combustibles and accelerants. In addition to open flames, physical and chemical factors such as sparks and heat generated by electrical sparks, friction, impact, and oxidation heat that cause spontaneous ignition can become ignition sources. For combustion to occur, three elements are indispensable. Through Orochimaru's experimental data, Bison felt that wood style can be used as a combustible material, chakra as a combustion aid, and the ignition source as naturally chakra. In this way, use wood style as firewood and scorch style as fire. What kind of flame can be ignited in the end? Senior Orochimaru, you must already have your own ideas on how to conduct the blood fusion experiment. Following Bison's sentence, Orochimaru nodded his head pointedly and replied. Certainly, and I believe Bison-kun you are now as I think. Different blood sequential boundaries require different conditions to form. As for the fusion of wood style and scorch style, I think the burning reaction can be used as an entry point. Nodding lightly, Bison said immediately. Heroes see the same thing. If that's the case, let's get started. No problem, I couldn't wait. Fall with the last sentence. Bison and Orochimaru started the experiment very tacitly. In this way, time passed quickly. Although he fell into a deep sleep, Yi Kang was still slightly conscious. She can feel her own change. Soon after, she could feel Orochimaru injecting her with a special liquid. This liquid made her feel very painful, but only very painful. In this pain, she could clearly feel that her power was growing rapidly. And it's not just strength that gets stronger. She felt younger and more alive. Even the chakra has become more and the quality has become higher. Even come alive. This magical feeling made her immersed in it. Really painful and happy. And when all the pain is gone. But her own changes are not over. She understands. The potion Orochimaru injected her seemed to give her another, the second kind of bloodline limit. And the characteristic of this kind of blood follower limit is that it contains huge vitality, just like the legendary wood style. This made Yi Kang feel a little surprised in fear and shock BBDC. She fears that she has become an Orochimaru experiment. She was astonished by Orochimaru's scientific prowess that she was able to create a potion that would give her wood style. To know, that's wood style. That is the mighty bloodline limit that belongs to the god of ninjas, and it is a powerful force capable of pacifying Sengoku. And now, she actually has wood style. As for what surprised her, it is in her body that scorch style chakra and wood style chakra can react with each other. Yi Kang was overwhelmed by this reaction, but he was also looking forward to it. If scorch style and wood style can be merged into a new kind of blood. So how powerful will this blood follower be? Water style, earth style, wind style, fire style, the perfect fusion of the four attributes. It will give birth to a stronger blood follower that surpasses the blood follower elimination. This blood follows. Maybe it will give her the power to surpass the god of ninjas. Such power, how strong will it be? At least, let her escape from Orochimaru's grasp. As long as he can escape the control of Orochimaru and regain his freedom, he has such a powerful power. So can she become Kazekage directly. And just like the end of the Sengoku era by the god of ninja, the end of the ninja village era. Immediately unify the world and become the queen of the world. It is precisely this kind of imagination that makes Yi Kang less painful and lonely. She was silently enduring, even more silently insisting, silently waiting. Just take the chance. She can get everything she wants. This will be an opportunity to change the fate of her life. I do not know how long it has been. She felt something strange again. It turned out to be Orochimaru and that monster called Bison. They were extracting chakra from my body, and they were even injecting unknown potions into my body. The body has undergone many subtle changes. The reaction between scorch-style chakra and wood-style chakra seems to be more obvious and more active. Wrong. Could it be that, the reason why I was caught by Orochimaru? Is it because they know that scorch style can be combined with wood style to create a powerful force? In this case, then they must be fully prepared to prevent me from escaping. Think of this. Yi Kang was also worried. But scorch style and wood style are fused little by little. As a result, the strength is increased little by little. This feeling, it was so wonderful. Let Yi Kang be immersed in it. Bison-kun, the blood follower fusion experiment went more smoothly than you and I thought. It seems that it may not be long before we can see the successful fusion of scorch style and wood style, and the birth of a powerful blood succession that has never been seen before. Looking at the various data displayed on various scientific research instruments, Orochimaru showed an expectant and excited smile and said to Bison. Naturally, Bison, who was on the side, also saw these data, and there was some unconcealed expectation in his eyes, and replied with a slightly smiling tone. Yes, Orochimaru-senpai. The experiment went well beyond expectations. It seems that Yi Kang is a very good experimenter, and there are some special things about her. Noticing a special data about Yi Kang's body, a strange color flashed across Baisan's eyes. Following Baisan's line of sight, Orochimaru also found this special data, and immediately highlighted the snake letter. Indeed, this Yi Kang is special. Her brain waves are different from others, and they are so active. This may mean that she has a strong talent for escapism. And wood style has masculine properties. So, this is actually a fusion of yin and yang. After Baisan's instructions, Orochimaru also responded quickly. Yin and yang are mutually reinforcing. I hadn't reacted before. Baisan-kun is worthy of being Baisan-kun, he is so sharp. Having said this, Orochimaru paused for a moment, and then murmured thoughtfully. In that case, does that mean that Yin-dun and Yang-dun can also merge with each other, thus giving birth to a very powerful blood successor boundary? And it is. Wood style has the masculine property, so can it also be fused with other bloodlines with yin property? Like Sharingan, like white eyes. Seeing Orochimaru's appearance, Baisan also nodded lightly, and then replied. I think this research direction can yield amazing results. In the future, we can try to collect more research materials and conduct experiments. Listening to Baisan's words, Orochimaru's expression became a little more serious. I wrote it down, it will be in the future. Baisan actually said that the experiment could yield amazing results. How could Orochimaru not take this seriously? Now that a major element of the fusion of the blood and the boundaries has been discovered. Yin-yang reaction. The next experiment was even smoother. After 3 days, the scorch-style chakra, represented by an orange-red flame, ignites the wood style made by wood-style chakra. When large amounts of chakra are consumed, a ray of golden flame suddenly rose. Although there was only a wisp of flames, Baisan felt an unprecedented shock. This flame seems to contain a deeper level of chakra characteristics. That is the chakra characteristic of yin and yang. What is yin-yang escape? Yin-dun represents the power of the spirit, and yin-dun technique can create form in the invisible. Yang-dun represents the power of the body, and yang-dun technique can inject life into the body. The combination of the two is the yin and yang escape technique. Able to create something out of nothing and give life to the form. Yin and yang escape can create all living things. This flame also has the power of creation. It can not only greatly strengthen Baisan's sage art Wanwa creation. It can also develop many escape techniques, thereby creating more and more magical existences. This is a divine fire with creative power. Baisan-kun. I feel like we are creating myths right now. Maybe we haven't been able to create life out of this golden fire. But I think this golden fire can create a mythical artifact. It's amazing. Orochimaru was very excited and very excited. Like he said, this is divine fire with creative power. Although in a short period of time, it is not possible to use this divine fire to create life. But it can be used to create artifacts. Baisan thinks this kind of powerful blood follower should be called Inferno Style. Flaming flames. Yeah, it's amazing. Chakra is like divine power, but mortals don't know how to use it. As soon as these words came out, Orochimaru was stunned for a moment, and then a little thought appeared in his eyes. He knows, chakra was not originally a human power. It is also known that humans cannot fully utilize the power of chakra. So what Baisan said is really not wrong. Chakra is divine power. It's just that mortals don't know how to use it. But just keep digging deeper into chakra. Orochimaru believes that, sooner or later, I will be able to complete the power of Master Chakra. By then, have you mastered divine power by yourself? Chakra. Orochimaru never forgets. Chakra is the root of the ninja's strength. And he has always attached great importance to the study of chakra. And Baisan's words strengthen Orochimaru's emphasis on chakra research. These thoughts flashed through Orochimaru's mind. It is clear, studying chakra is not the most important thing right now. Research this golden fire is. Baisan-kun always unwittingly uttered some words that inspired me a lot. It's an honor to be able to inspire Orochimaru-senpai. After replying to Orochimaru, Baisan's tone also changed. Then what we need to do next is to study the golden fire and develop the corresponding blood successor medicine. I wonder what Orochimaru senpai thinks this kind of blood should be called. Listening to Baisan's question, Orochimaru didn't particularly care. Doesn't it matter what the name is? So after a slight pause, Orochimaru replied. I'm not very good at naming names, Baisan-kun can say it directly if he has an idea. Then call it Inferno Style. No problem, let's study the Inferno Style and develop the Inferno Style potion. I can't wait to get the master's powerful power. Me too. After deciding on the name, Baisan and Orochimaru continued to experiment. And the characteristics of Inferno Style are just as Baisan guessed. It has powerful creative power. The fire of Inferno Style can not only turn stone into gold, but also make gold harder than steel, and turn gold into a powerful weapon. If it is chakra metal, it can produce special abilities. For example, forging wind-style chakra metal with the fire of Inferno Style. You can get an extraordinary weapon that can cut out the wind blade by inputting chakra. If combined with high-tech ninja tool forging technology, Baisan can even forge powerful weapons that are close to the artifacts in ninja mythology. Forging with the fire of Inferno Style is really easy. But I know, the power of the Inferno Style is not just for forging extraordinary weapons. I think the fire of Inferno Style can also burn and transform lives. Turn monkeys into King Kong, turn lizards into dinosaurs, and turn humans into inhumans. His eyes narrowed slightly, and a strange color appeared in Baisan's eyes. The power of Inferno Style really suits me. Not only can it be used to greatly strengthen Sage Art Wanwa creation. It can be used to develop new ninjutsu and create new chakra creations. In particular, this blood descendant contains the power of yin and yang, which can link life and spirit. So, can the chakra weapon forged with the fire of Inferno Style be bound to the life and soul of the ninja? Maybe with the power of Inferno Style, I can forge a chakra version of Zanpakuto. The evolution of chakra Zanpakuto is chakra, it is the soul, it is the evolution of life. And the evolution of chakra, soul, and life, is also the evolution of chakra Zanpakuto. His eyes narrowed slightly, and many inspirations appeared in Baisan's mind. But he quickly regained his thoughts. And the power of Inferno Style is not only suitable for Baisan, but also for Orochimaru. In-depth development of Inferno Style will definitely be able to transform life and soul. With Orochimaru's human body modification technology, it is bound to be able to develop this function of Inferno Style to ultimate. And make a deeper and more thorough transformation of his life and soul. Baisan understood. Orochimaru also understands. Humans need oxygen, water, food, proper temperature, blood, heartbeat. These indispensable living conditions for human beings can be regarded as defects. Orochimaru also wants to get rid of these flaws. With the power of Inferno Style, it is possible to help me with Orochimaru to get rid of these flaws. That's when Baisan teamed up with Orochimaru to study Inferno Style. Yi Kang couldn't help but feel desperate. Her guess was right. Baisan and Orochimaru knew that Scorch Style and Wood Style could fuse into a new bloodline. This powerful blood follower seems to be more powerful than she imagined. Vaguely, she can also hear Baisan's conversation with Orochimaru. This blood is called Inferno Style. Has a strong creative force. It is simply the power of the gods. You can even create powerful artifacts. She seems to have truly surpassed the god of ninjas and gained the power of gods. It's just the preparations of Baisan and Orochimaru that can really trap her as a god. Unable to move, unable to resist, unable to control the chakra in her body, she couldn't do anything but think. She was really desperate. At the same time, she was also terrified. She is very clear, the reason why the current self can have such a powerful divine power. It's because of Baisan and Orochimaru. Since the two of them can create themselves, it must be able to let the next have the power of God. When the ninja world, when Konoha gave birth to two gods. How is Sunagakur able to resist Konoha? Do not. More than just Sunagakur, no other shinobi village, or even the entire world, can resist Konoha. Or resist Baisan and Orochimaru. And see Orochimaru and Baisan actually using themselves as experiments. You know they are not good people. And as keen to conduct human experiments. So, Other ninjas with blood following limits, or special physiques. Will it be their experiment? As long as they want to study, who can resist? Should they be allowed to be so reckless? Such an idea. It made Yi Kang fall into even greater despair. As for Bai Zan, it is studying the influence of Inferno-style chakra on body and spirit, life and soul. This fire of Inferno-style has the creative power of yin and yang in addition to it. It can actually burn the impurities of the body and spirit, and correct many small defects of human beings. It's a subtle evolution. This finding verified a conjecture of Bai Zan. The combination of physical energy and spiritual energy gives birth to chakra. Ordinary chakra is advanced into blood. Following the bounded chakra, the body and spirit will undergo an evolution. Blood follows the limit chakra advances into blood and then eliminates chakra, the body and spirit will get an evolution. Therefore, after the blood will eliminate chakra and advance into blood, and after the blood will capture chakra, the body and spirit will also undergo an evolution. In this case, the blood snares represent not only power, but also evolution. Thinking about the power of the blood-based network to the ordinary blood-based boundaries, it should be able to infer that the evolution represented by the hemorrhage followed by the snare should be a leap evolution. It can even be said to be the evolution from human beings to Otsutsuki. Although Inferno Style is not a blood follower, but it is also stronger than the ordinary blood successor limit, stronger than the blood successor elimination dust escape. Therefore, the evolution represented by Inferno Style is also a very amazing evolution. What an amazing change! Under the influence of Inferno Style chakra, the cells of Yi Kang are able to produce this special change. The degree of change is almost the same as Sage transformation. Just when Bai Zan exclaimed in his heart, Orochimaru also showed a happy expression and said, "Bai Zan-kun, you must have seen it, the power of Inferno Style is really amazing. It can affect cells so deeply. If I could incorporate it into my Hualong technique, maybe I can take this opportunity to soar into the sky and turn into a real dragon. I haven't even completed the Sage transformation yet. If I become a real dragon, I become a fairy again." The two evolution effects are superimposed together. It's hard to imagine how powerful I am in that state. That is definitely beyond the existence of the god of ninjas. Maybe that's a power comparable to Sage of Six Paths. Do not. A stronger being than Sage of Six Paths. After all, Sage of Six Paths is long dead. And I can have a long, even eternal life. With that said, Orochimaru's tone also became excited. As for Bai Zan, he also smiled slightly and responded, "I believe that Orochimaru will be able to successfully transform into a dragon and become an immortal, and will also be able to obtain eternal life. It's just that we should complete the experiments in our hands as soon as possible." Ha ha, don't mind Bai Zan-kun. I'm a little excited. After calming down, Orochimaru and Bai Zan continued their experiments. Test out the basic properties of Inferno-style chakra mei, as well as its effects on the body and mind, and more. After obtaining the detailed data about Inferno Style, Bai Zan went on to develop the Inferno Style potion together with Orochimaru. A week later, Inferno Style potion complete, Bai Zan infuses Inferno Style with Orochimaru. In this way, an amazing transformation took place quietly in Bai Zan's body. Bai Zan's magnet style is not a bloodline boundary formed by the fusion of wind style and lightning style. Instead, it is the single attribute of lightning style, which carries out nature transformation and physical reaction, and finally gave birth to the blood following limit. And Inferno Style not only contains water style, earth style, wind style, fire style. More creative power of yin and yang. In some sense, Bai Zan, who was injected with the Inferno Style potion, gained the power of Inferno Style. Get all the chakra properties. And because of the particularity of Bai Zan magnet style. Although Bai Zan was unable to combine magnet style with Inferno Style in a short period of time, but it can amplify the Inferno Style with the grand unified electromagnetic field, thereby enhancing the power of Inferno Style. Let it have a powerful power second only to the blood snares. This subtle feeling, Inferno Style chakra seems to be able to set magnet style chakra on fire. But the gem will be able to constrain the Inferno Style chakra. Wonderful. The properties that chakra has are just too complicated. It is not something that can be done overnight. Applying Inferno Style to Sage Art 1 creation requires some adjustments. It's not a big problem though. Finally, after thinking to himself, Bison turned his attention to Orochimaru. However, he found that Orochimaru's body actually had a thin layer of golden flame. Bison-kun, I just can't wait to feel the power of Inferno Style. According to the plan, I should have some free time next. Then during this period of time, I will first tap the power of Inferno Style and deeply transform myself. It shouldn't be a problem. Orochimaru wearing a golden flame looks so cool, and his face is full of enjoyment. He enjoys the feeling of evolution little by little under the influence of Inferno Style. Looking at Orochimaru's appearance, Bison naturally has no objection. Of course, no problem. Then I would like to congratulate Orochimaru-senpai in advance on his successful transformation into a dragon. 417. With a smile, Orochimaru replied. I trust Bison-kun's vision. After a few last words, Bison left the institute. Just returned to Konoha. Namikaze Minato with a serious expression came to the door. Bison-kun, you are finally back. Seeing Namikaze Minato's expression, Bison paused slightly, then asked directly. Senior Minato, what happened? Namikaze Minato didn't make any detours either, and replied straight to the topic. I and Killer Bee from Cloud Shinobi Village are leading Cloud Shinobi Anbu to infiltrate the Land of Fire. The Third Ninja War is about to break out. As expected, Bison was not nervous at all, but said calmly. Senior Minato, I can feel that you have mastered the Chakra Reactor and Sage Mode. You are very powerful now. Why fear the Third Ninja World War? Just I and Killer Bee, what kind of waves are there? Hearing Bison's words, Namikaze Minato nodded, but also shook his head. I'm not afraid of war. I'm not afraid of I and Killer Bee either. I'm just worried about Konoha's comrades. But it's war. I'm not afraid, but they will. I won't die, but they will. Not all companions are as powerful as you and me. So it has to be serious. So be careful, because maybe it's just a very small mistake that could lead to the death of a companion. Seeing Namikaze Minato so serious, Bison's face became a little more serious. Companions don't have the power as powerful as you and me, so let them gain powerful power. Senior Minato shouldn't have forgotten the radiance of immortals. As long as all the ninjas in Konoha become immortals, they will not be sacrificed so easily. Certainly, it's a long way off. But in addition to immortal transformation radiation, I also have an idea for immortal magic. As long as I complete this magic, my companions will gain powerful combat power. So please rest assured, Minato-san, we just need to delay for a while, and the things you are worried about will definitely not happen. When Bison's words came to Namikaze Minato's ears, Namikaze Minato couldn't help but stunned for a moment. He looked at Bison who was calm, and felt a kind of absolute confidence from it. This confidence made Namikaze Minato salivate, saying, Bison-kun, I trust you. Senior Minato, I trust you too. Bison replied with a smile. Hearing Bison's words, Namikaze Minato's expression relaxed a bit. But in the next moment, Namikaze Minato seemed to think of something, and then his tone changed. That's right, since Bison-kun has seen me master Chakra Reactor and Sage Mode. Then do we want to have a fight? Of course, I'm also looking forward to witnessing the progress of Brother Minato. Facing Namikaze Minato's suggestion, Bison readily agreed. Namikaze Minato was also looking forward to hearing from Bison. It's just that before the discussion, he thought about it carefully and said, because the power of my newly developed art is huge after all. Then let's stay away from Konoha this time. No problem. Bison knows Namikaze Minato, he is not a big talker. Since he said that his newly developed technique is powerful, it must be powerful. This also makes Bison look forward to it. After reaching an agreement, Bison and Namikaze Minato left Konoha. Came to a very remote no-man's land. Then, Bison-kun, I'm going. Bring it on. It was at the moment when Bison's words just fell. Namikaze Minato's breath suddenly changed, and his eyes turned into toad-like pupils. Fission Chakra combines natural energies to create the magical chakra. The power of your own ninjutsu, taijutsu, and illusion has been improved by leaps and bounds. He stretched out his hands, and entered the magic chakra into Flying Thunder God's kunai, and formed a layer of faint golden light to cover Flying Thunder God's kunai. Then, throw, 10 Flying Thunder God kunai burst out of the sky, drawing golden lights one after another in the void. As expected of senior brother Minato, he found the technique to disrupt the magnetic field with the magic chakra so quickly. But even if I can't control your Flying Thunder God kunai with the grand unified electromagnetic field. But now I'm not who I used to be. The modified nervous system allows Bison to easily capture the flight path of Flying Thunder God kunai. Then, one-handed print, silently, the dark purple magic chakra suddenly overflowed. Differentiate into one after another purple light, under the control of Bison. These hundreds of purple lights turned into sharp swords one after another. The sharp sword made of purple light hovered around Bison's body, flying around like dragons and snakes. Under Bison's control, the thousands of purple light flying swords quickly flew towards the Flying Thunder God kunai, easily shattering them. Namikaze Minato, who was just about to use the Flying Thunder God technique, stopped immediately when he saw the amazing scene in front of him. If this uses the Flying Thunder God technique to teleport to the side of the Flying Thunder God Kuwu, wouldn't he be strangled by these thousands of purple light flying swords in an instant? Bison-kun, do you want to use such a powerful move as soon as you come up? I'm sorry Minato-san, this move is relatively weak among all my master moves. Bison's calm words made Namikaze Minato stunned for a moment. He didn't think Bison was lying. It seems that the gap between me and Bison-kun is really getting bigger and bigger. In this case, then I will do my best. Bison-kun. Come here, Minato-san. Words fall. Namikaze Minato immediately opened his palm, and the blue chakra suddenly gathered. Sage Art Spiral Shuriken. Seeing this scene, Bison's eyes narrowed slightly. It's really unexpected and reasonable. The art that Namikaze Minato developed is actually this art. Sage Art Spiral Shuriken was originally the first S-ranked ninjutsu created by Namikaze Minato's son, Uzumaki Naruto after hard training. It is combined with the nature transformation of Wind-style chakra, which transforms Rasengan's chakra into a high-level ninjutsu like a shuriken. The disadvantage is that it cannot be thrown out in the state of semi-finished products, and it will suffer the energy storm generated by the melee attack, which will damage its own meridians and bones. But in Sage mode, the degree of completion is 100%, which overcomes this weakness. Able to throw the spiral shuriken in his hand for long-range attacks. The power of this technique. But quite big. When Namikaze Minato throws the spiral shuriken, the terrifying kinetic energy also swept up an amazing gust of wind. The wind howled recklessly, rush into the thousands of purple flying swords between the electric light and flint. Then, spin, strangulation, bloat, hoo, dang dang, dang dang. A pit with a diameter of hundreds of meters suddenly appeared. Accompanied by the dense cracks and cracks on the ground, the wind was raging and the dust was flying. One after another, the purple light flying sword was bounced off. But it's just been thrown away. And under the control of Bison. These flying purple light flying swords flexibly drew a curve in the void, and then flew towards Namikaze Minato again. Why are these sharp swords made of chakra so hard? Even the Sage Art Spiral Shuriken is only and can only fly the purple light sword. Bison's move is too strong. With his eyes fixed, Namikaze Minato threw 10 Flying Thunder God kunai again. Although Sage Art Spiral Shuriken did not destroy a purple light sword. But in the end, they were blasted away. This is his chance too. And Namikaze Minato is the best at taking chances. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What is gold glitter? This is golden glitter. Flying Thunder God kunai is like a golden light after another, and Namikaze Minato's speed is like the speed of light. Disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. Constant teleportation, constant teleportation. Even the Zigwang Feijian has thousands of handles. Even if the speed of the purple light flying sword is 10 times the speed of sound. Even Bison can freely control the purple light flying sword. But Namikaze Minato who took the chance. It was also successful in coming to Bison. At the same time, he opened his palm, and the azure blue magic chakra instantly condensed. Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan. Senior Minato, you are very fast. But I seem to be a little faster than you. Bison's voice. It was passed from behind Namikaze Minato to Namikaze Minato's ear. How is this possible? Bison-kun's reaction speed and movement speed have increased so much. I didn't even respond. He actually appeared behind me. He couldn't help being surprised, but Namikaze Minato didn't plan to admit defeat. With a sudden turn of the body, he was about to slam the Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan in his hand towards Bison. Unfortunately, even though the diameter of Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan expanded to 10 meters in an instant, it still did not touch Bison. Even the turbulent waves of Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan, the splashing dust and gravel, did not touch Bison. Gently patted Namikaze Minato on the shoulder, Bison's voice entered Namikaze Minato's ears again. Senior Minato, it seems that the gap between you and me is a bit big. Why don't you defeat my purple light flood dragon first, and I won't dodge with you. As these words fell, Bison's figure disappeared again. When Bison's figure appeared again, it was already in the middle of the thousands of purple flying swords, surrounded by them. Not long ago, 900 purple light flying swords turned into 900 purple lights and flew into Bison's body. The remaining 100 purple flying swords will then converge to become a dragon. The 50-long purple light dragon looks so lifelike, hideous hockey. Hold head high. A sound of dragon rumbling resounds through the sky. Boundless hockey is like a dragon that dominates the wind and rain, calming the world. Namikaze Minato looked towards Bison. Standing directly in the void, Bison was surrounded by the purple light flood dragon, like the owner of the purple light flood dragon. Filled with hockey, it is like the god of the earth, the mighty hockey, otherworldly. Thinking of Bison's words, Namikaze Minato immediately replied. Bison-kun, then you wait for me to defeat this purple light dragon, and let you face the defeat of without dodging or dodging. With a sunny smile like a little sun, Namikaze Minato was also inspired to fight. Bison drained the water like this. If he is not confident yet, then he's not Namikaze Minato. I'm waiting for you, Minato-san. Just hope it doesn't take too long. After saying this, Bison's mind was also moved. Under the control of Bison, the purple light flood dragon then circled and flew towards Namikaze Minato. Hold head high. Another dragon roar sounded. Under the blessing of the great unified electromagnetic field, the speed of the purple light flood dragon suddenly accelerated. Directly tear the sound barrier and set off a terrifying wave. 10 times the speed of sound. No kidding. In the face of the purple light flood dragon, a terrifying monster that does not lose its tail. Namikaze Minato didn't dare to be careless. His hands turned into phantoms in an instant, and dozens of flying thunder god kunai turned into dozens of golden lights, streaking across the void, drawing lines one after another. Whizzing, curve, straight line. That tricky flight path is enough to prove Namikaze Minato's magical kunai throwing skills. Disappear, appear, disappear, appear. In the blink of an eye, Namikaze Minato teleported 12 times. Coming to the top of Ziguang Jiaolong's head, a Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan slammed down. Boom! One by one, there was a dull crashing sound. The spinning Big Ball Rasengan is like a terrifying tornado. High-quality immortal art chakra seems to be transformed into one after another, densely packed with blades, constantly cutting, constantly strangling, and constantly colliding. Clang, clang, but the dragon scales of the purple light flood dragon are too hard. Even if the power of Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan is very huge. However, it was unable to leave a mark on the dragon scales of the purple light flood dragon. But the powerful impact force was able to knock down the purple light flood dragon. From the air, fall into the ground. Boom! A shallow pit suddenly appeared on the ground. The dense cracks are believed to spread in all directions. There are also large and small rubble sputtering, and the raised dust and smoke billows. How can it be so hard? This is Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan. Although very shocking, the truth is the truth, and it is impossible for Namikaze Minato to admit it. And after accepting this reality, Namikaze Minato immediately thought of how to continue the battle. If Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan can't penetrate the dragon scale's defense, then only use the Sage Art Spiral Shuriken. In this way, in the next instant, when Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan disappears in the palm of Namikaze Minato, the purple light flood dragon also let out a dragon roar. Hold head high. The dragon's tail is like a whip, and it slams Namikaze Minato fiercely. It's just that Namikaze Minato's speed is very fast, using the Flying Thunder God technique to disappear in place in an instant, avoiding the dragon's tail of the Purple Light Dragon. When the tail of the Purple Light Flood Dragon landed on the ground, a huge pit was created. The dense cracks spread, the large and small rubble sputtered, and the tumbling dust rose. Then, looking at Namikaze Minato's reappearance, the Purple Light Flood Dragon immediately came to the dragon's mouth and bit away. In the face of this blow from the Zigwang Jiaolong, Namikaze Minato did not use the Flying Thunder God technique, but instead directly bent his knees and turned sideways. Use the body flicker technique to come under the Zigwang Jiaolong and move quickly on the body of the Zigwang Jiaolong. Then jump in. Sage Art Spiral Shuriken. However, in an instant, the immortal chakra completed the wind style characterization, and compressed and condensed into a shuriken shape with a diameter of nearly 3 meters. The spiral shuriken spins at high speed on Namikaze Minato's palm. Then suddenly throw. Slash to the Purple Light Flood Dragon at close range. Call. The wind howled unscrupulously, the airflow was torn apart, making a harsh scream, and the dense cutting sound was continuous. Clang clang, clang clang clang, as Namikaze Minato surmised. Sage Art Big Ball Rasengan cannot break the defense of the Purple Light Flood Dragon. But the Sage Art Spiral Shuriken can tear apart the dragon scales of the Purple Light Flood Dragon. However, it is only able to tear the dragon scales of the Purple Light Flood Dragon. To know, the Purple Light Flood Dragon is not flesh and blood. It is a celestial chakra life form, capable of rapid regeneration. What is the dragon scale being torn apart? But it's a little smaller. The impact on Zigwang Jiaolong is not very big. Hold head high. Roaring out, he rushed out of the spiral shuriken that had swelled into a huge ball of light. Looking at the Purple Light Flood Dragon, which was only slightly smaller in size, Namikaze Minato's brows couldn't help but wrinkle deeply. This self-healing ability. Is it possible that the monster Bai-Zan-kun randomly created is comparable to the existence of a tailed beast? This is too scary. Originally, Namikaze Minato also meant that this was an upgraded version of ninjutsu similar to Fire-style Fire Dragon Bomb technique, Water-style Water Dragon Bomb technique. Dragons are just chakras, although they can control dragons that are condensed from chakra. Although it is hard, it is just hard. But Namikaze Minato never imagined that this Purple Light Dragon could regenerate quickly. Isn't this a monster comparable to a tailed beast? Well known, the tailed beast is immortal. Can be resurrected even if killed. Therefore, you can only use the sealing technique to deal with the tailed beast. The issue is, so, how can I beat it? Looks like it's time to learn about sealing. Otherwise, in the face of such an enemy, there is absolutely no way to start. Only, Bai-Zan-kun has released water. It's not like I can't beat this Purple Light Flood Dragon. You always have to try it to know the result. Since Bai-Zan-kun said it, as long as I can defeat this Purple Light Dragon, he will not be able to dodge and discuss with me again. That is to say, in Bai-Zan-kun's eyes, I have the strength to defeat this Purple Light Flood Dragon. This idea made Namikaze Minato give up and admit defeat. His eyes narrowed, and dozens of Flying Thunder God kunai were thrown out again. For the next half hour, Bai-Zan saw an extremely good fight. Namikaze Minato lives up to its golden glitter. The speed is astonishingly fast, and it is like a dazzling golden flash in battle. Keep disappearing, keep appearing. Use the Sage Art Spiral Shuriken to attack the Purple Light Flood Dragon from all angles. It makes the Zigwang Jiaolong's body gradually shrink. The Purple Light Flood Dragon, which was originally 50 meters long, is now only 30 meters long. Unfortunately, the combat power of the Purple Light Flood Dragon has been reduced. The chakra in Namikaze Minato is also consumed a lot. So the battle is still so evenly matched. And in practice, Bai-Zan also found the inadequacy of the Purple Light Jiaolong. Too clumsy and too single-minded. But being able to use shape-shifting abilities to compensate. And with the continuous injury and self-healing, the body size will also decrease rapidly. Recording the shortcomings of Zigwang Jiaolong is naturally for improvement. As for how to improve, Bai-Zan has long planned. That is to join Inferno Style. Under the power of Inferno Style, the chakra creation created by Sage Art Wanhua will be able to drive the fire of Inferno Style. In addition to the power of Yin and Yang creation, the fire of Inferno Style is also more powerful than Scorch Style in attack, at least 10 times stronger. The terrifying high temperature and the ultimate blasting can easily burn everything into ashes. Besides, Bison also wanted to make Sage Art one with celestial creation, Chakra, to have the function of absorbing the natural ability. In this way, the purple light flood dragon can absorb natural energy while fighting, so as to maintain its size and not shrink. It seems that Namikaze Minato did not have Master Sealing at this time. Maybe it's because of me. Because of practicing Chakra Reactor and Sage Mode. So Namikaze Minato didn't have time to learn Sealing. If Namikaze Minato Master has the sealing technique, even the most basic sealing technique, all were able to seize the opportunity to defeat and control the purple light flood dragon. But now it seems that he could only slowly consume the purple light flood dragon to death. Time goes on. 3 hours later, Namikaze Minato finally defeated the Zigwang Jiaolong. But it also exhausted all the chakra in the body. Bison-kun, it seems that I can only admit defeat this time. The exhausted Namikaze Minato had a wry smile on his face. Senior Minato is already very strong, but I didn't expect that Brother Minato can't seal the spell. If Brother Minato mastered the sealing technique, it would not be difficult to defeat the purple light flood dragon. Hearing Bison's words, Namikaze Minato nodded slightly and replied, although I also really want to go back now and start learning sealing. But tomorrow, the Anbu ninjas will be able to find out where the Cloud Shinobi are. At that time, we should go out of the village to do the task. Listening to Namikaze Minato's words, Bison didn't really care. Merely Killer B. There's really no threat at all. Don't care at all. I think Minato-san, you don't have to underestimate yourself. I and Killer B are not our opponents at all, nor are they a threat. As Bison's words came into his ears, Namikaze Minato couldn't help but be slightly taken aback. He looked at Bison. I don't think Bison-kun is wrong. Then he nodded slightly and replied, I know Bison-kun. Finally, after a few words with Namikaze Minato, Bison returned to Konoha with Namikaze Minato. After the separation, Bison returned home. The priority now is to upgrade Sage Art Wanwa creation. This is not difficult for Bison. It is nothing more than adding Inferno Style Chakra to Sage Art Wanwa creation. The palm opened, and the unified electromagnetic field suddenly enveloped. A purple light condensed in the left hand, and the golden fire in the right hand suddenly rose. Then the two hands meet. I saw the golden fire suddenly ignited the purple light. A group of purple gold light flames was born. Watching this scene, Bison's eyes couldn't help revealing a strange color. Really, the level of Inferno Style is too high, and Chakra is ignited almost instantly. And the shape of the fire of Inferno Style is also closely related to the fuel. Using the magic Chakra as fuel, it can actually show such a magical change. In Bison's perception, this group of purple gold light flames is not only material, but also has quality and is very hard. It has all the properties of the fire of the Celestial Chakra and Inferno Style. And the combination of Immortal Chakra and Inferno Style also makes this purple gold light flame derive a new characteristic. That is a special quality similar to inorganic reincarnation. With the movement of Bison's mind, the unified electromagnetic field suddenly turned. A piece of metal suddenly flew in front of Bison. Purple gold flames fell on the metal. The metal was ignited almost instantly. I can burn this metal to ashes in an instant. Mind moving. This irregular piece of metal suddenly shrank in size and turned into a standard ball. At the same time, some ashes fell. It's also possible to use the properties of Inferno Style to change the properties of the metal. The purple gold light flame calmly merged into the metal ball. But in an instant, the black metal ball turned golden. It's golden, it's not gold. It is very hard, much harder than it should be. Under the influence of Inferno Style, it has become a very special substance, similar to gold. More able to give it life. Just like the activation of Sage Art Inorganic Reincarnation. Under the action of purple gold light, this golden metal ball suddenly had vitality. Under the control of Bison, it becomes a little man. Lifelike and very cute. Even, I'm still able to do this with it. A ray of deepness flashed in his eyes, and his brain turned quickly. The knowledge about the Eastern Emperor's suit, the knowledge about the sealing technique, the knowledge about the immortal technique. Countless knowledge emerges, then is scattered and rearranged. Purple gold flames burn silently. The golden villain quickly deformed, twisted, and turned into a ninja sword. And on this golden ninja sword, dense sealing techniques emerge. By arranging and combining, an extremely complex combination technique is formed. At the moment after the completion of this combined technique, the purple gold light flames that enveloped the ninja sword immediately poured into the technique. Holding the handle of the knife, the corners of Baisan's mouth raised slightly, and a faint smile appeared. I really did not expect that an Inferno-style magic weapon could be created so easily. Flattening the blade, looking at the mysterious and complex, delicate and gorgeous compound technique on the blade, Baisan's eyes also showed a little strange color. After a slight pause, enter a wisp of chakra. In the silence, purple gold flames suddenly rose, shrouding the ninja sword. Although it still needs improvement, this ninja sword already has some of the abilities that Chakra Zanpakuto should have. Using chakra as fuel, ignite the purple gold flame. Purple gold light flame has infinite potential. In the constant burning, in the constant devouring, the flames will become bigger and fiercer. Bathed in the purple gold light, not only will this ninja sword evolve, but the owner of the ninja sword will also evolve. And because the fuel is different, the purple gold flame will also become different, and the evolution brought about will naturally have different effects. Isn't that the nature of Zanpakuto? Certainly. This ninja knife still needs some modification. It is best to be able to integrate into the body of the knife owner to obtain the ability to absorb the knife master chakra and strengthen the knife master. Certainly. Also the ability to devour the enemy chakra. When chakra accumulates to a certain limit, it will be able to evolve. The evolution of the ninja sword is also the evolution of the sword master. None of these things are difficult. It's just that this ninja sword can only evolve once at most. It's not what I expected, and it's not enough to fight chakra machines and nuclear martial arts. If you want to upgrade it, you may need to study the 7 ninja swords. The 7 ninja swords are the treasures of the Kurigakure, 7 powerful, ninja swords, with different abilities. They are the broadsword Samahata, blunt swords, kabuto cuts, blasting swords, droplets, double swords, flounder, thunder swords, teeth, broken swords, decapitation broadswords, long swords and sewing needles. Among them, broken sword and head slash can absorb the iron element in the enemy's blood to regenerate itself and restore the stamina of the bearer. A long knife and needle can pierce everything and sew it up. Dull knives, kabuto cuts can break defenses, which is called piercing. The blaster and droplets have explosive power, and their lethality is very powerful. Throw the explosive scroll of blaster droplets around the enemy to cause a large-scale explosion that cannot be escaped. Thunder Blade Tooth is a blade with thunder and lightning, which has the special effect of both offense and defense. And can create and attract lightning to release more powerful power. Double Knife Flounder is a knife made of 2 symmetrical knives. It can emit gaseous energy light balls, and can also make the blade larger. Among them, Baisan wants to study the most valuable ninja sword that Baisan thinks is the Samahata. Not only can you suck the opponent's chakra away for your own use. It is also possible to stimulate cell regeneration in the body with the large amount of chakra stored in Samahata. It is also possible to make Samahata merge with himself to become a murloc. This kind of weapon with life is more complex with the characteristics of Zanpakuto. Also, Baisan is very curious about the ability to transform into a body with the sword Samahata. If the ninja sword can be combined with the main body of the sword, it can transform into other forms. Seems to have a lot of potential. After a slight pause, Baisan restrained his thoughts. Now that it has been proved that Inferno Style can ignite the magic chakra, which will lead to the purple gold flame. So, Baisan stretched out his hands directly and started to seal. Sage Art Wanwa creation is launched. Half of the magic chakra in the body is transformed into a dazzling purple light. As for the other half of chakra, it is naturally the fire of Inferno Style that is raging. In silence, the fire of Inferno Style completely ignites the celestial purple light. Purple gold flames filled every corner of Baisan's body between his breaths. Even out of the body, a faint purple gold flame covered Baisan. In the next moment, Baisan's figure suddenly disappeared in place. Wait until Baisan appears again. Already on a barren mountain. Press both hands. See you. In silence, purple gold flames suddenly poured out. What is it that a single spark can start a prairie fire? This is called a single spark can start a prairie fire. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. When this 100-meter barren mountain was ignited by purple gold light. Bison folded his palms, stood up straight, and stepped on the barren hills. In an instant, the mountains are shaking. Boom, Ryuiki. Under the burning of the purple gold light, the body of the barren mountain shrunk slightly, the texture turned into gold, and then began to deform and distort. The earth let out a whimper, and terrifying cracks emerged, spreading in all directions. The rocks shattered, the soil turned up, and the dust flew up. When there are not many, do you have Zhao? A 100-meter-high golden giant stands on the ground. Wearing heavy armor and holding a giant sword, the purple gold light is blazing brightly, like an extraordinary god, full of haki, and kamui like a prison. I haven't done my best yet. As long as I am willing, I can also make an even bigger purple gold flame god. And the potential of this move is enormous. If I have enough chakra, I can even transform an entire planet into a giant and give it life. Think about it. If you turn the planet into gold and turn it into a giant. What kind of scene would that be? And what if the planet was a star? Or is it a neutron star? A white dwarf? Even a black hole? With his brain running fast, Bison roughly calculated the chakra needed to transform various celestial bodies into giant gods. He couldn't help showing a dazed expression, and couldn't help murmured in his mouth. The amount of chakra. After murmuring this, Bison turned his attention to the mountain god under his feet. Thinking of a price. See you. The purple golden light suddenly rolled over. But in an instant, this newly born mountain god turned into a mass of ashes. Filled 2 huge footprints on the ground. Zijing Guangyan obtained a very small increase, and was inhaled by Bison in the next moment. Sage Art. Wanwa Creation. Update completed. The next day. Namikaze Minato accepts Third Hokage's quest. Defeat or kill the Cloud Shinobi squad led by I and Killer B. The entire Minato class is dispatched. On the road. Bison is chatting with Kakashi, whom he hasn't seen in a long time, and Hong. Bison-kun, I wanted to fuse swordsmanship with lightning style, but I encountered some problems. My dynamic vision can't keep up with the speed of lightning, and my reaction and movement speeds are not fast enough. I don't know, Bison-kun, do you have any suggestions? Listening to Kakashi's question, Bison naturally knows that the standard answer to this problem has been verified. Sharingan. But for his own sake, it is almost impossible for Kakashi to get Sharingan. But this problem is not insoluble. Reaction speed and movement speed are easy solutions for me. As for the lack of dynamic vision, I think you can enhance your perception. Certainly, if you want, I can change your eyes too. After getting Bison's reply, Kakashi couldn't help showing some admiration and gratitude. Bison-kun is indeed Bison-kun. The problem that has been bothering me for a long time was solved so easily. After a slight pause, Kakashi immediately replied. Of course I would. Then when this mission is over, I'll help you remodel your eyes and nervous system, and then teach you a technique to increase your speed with lightning-style chakra. Aha! Kakashi can't wait to get a makeover. As for Bison, looking at Kakashi's profile, there was also a little contemplation in his eyes. For Bison, modifying the nervous system is no small matter. But if you want to remodel your eyes, it's best to get technical support from Orochimaru. But that's not a big deal. Now Bison is contemplative. It's actually how the future of Kakashi should develop. In Bison's opinion, Hatake Kakashi's talent is very high, at least higher than his father Hatake Tsukumo. First, Kakashi can perfectly inherit Hatake Tsukumo's swordsmanship. Whether it is White Fang swordsmanship or Taichi swordsmanship, Kakashi can control it perfectly. Secondly, Kakashi also has an otherworldly talent for lightning style. Chidori, Reikiri, and a series of their own lightning styles. Even in the distant future, after losing the Sharingan, Kakashi developed a new type of lightning style ninjutsu that does not need to rely on the Sharingan and can be activated without the need for a seal, Zaiden. There are 2 ways to activate this spell. One is to focus the purple lightning on the hand and then slash the target, which is extremely powerful. The other is to release a wide range of purple electricity to paralyze the opponent around, the range is very wide, and it belongs to all-round attack. This spell can target Third Raikage's Black Thunder. It is equivalent to an extremely advanced lightning-style chakra. Qualitatively equivalent to the blood-following limit. At last, under the influence of Bison, Kakashi is also able to perfectly combine swordsmanship with lightning style. Thus, Kakashi's future is hard to predict. To know. In Bison's plan, there are also many powerful ninjutsu that will be popularized, and even immortality. For example, the chakra reactor, for example, the blood following the medicine, the radiation of the immortals, the radiation of the stars, the fairy beast technique, and so on. More importantly, the nuclear martial arts developed by Third Raikage also fit well with Kakashi. Bison's unfinished Inferno-style ninja knives also work well with Kakashi. After the perfect fusion of various power systems derived from the root of chakra. What kind of power can Kakashi have in the future? Originally, it was like giving the star chakra armor to Orochimaru for research, and then giving it to Kakashi to use. But now Orochimaru is researching the immortal transformation technique, and I also created the prototype of the Inferno-style ninja knife in advance. So I might be able to make the star chakra armor into a perfect Inferno-style ninja sword and give it to Kakashi. Thinking of this, Bison immediately restrained his thoughts and turned his attention to the red. Bison-kun, I have recently learned a lot of medical ninjutsu and illusion. But my strength is still so bad. Bison-kun, can you teach me how to become stronger? Hong knows that his talent is not as good as Kakashi, and even less than Bison. But she was really not reconciled, watching Bison and Kakashi become stronger and stronger, and the gap between her and her was getting bigger and bigger. She also wants to be stronger. But her talent is too ordinary. Just learning medical ninjutsu and illusion was enough to give her a headache. Not to mention learning something else. Seeing the humble red on his face and eyes, Bison showed a gentle smile. Red is not bad. I know that Hong is very talented in illusion. It's good to learn the basics of medical ninjutsu, and the main energy can be put on the learning of illusion. Although I don't know how to guide you yet. But I already have some ideas in my head. So, Red just needs to lay the foundation. Don't worry, I promise you will have a bright future. Bison-kun has no reason to deceive himself. Not to mention. Really gentle, Bison-kun's smile, Bison-kun's expression, Bison-kun's eyes, and Bison-kun's voice. It's so gentle. Bowing his head slightly, the volume of Hong lowered a little. Kindness. Bison is not cheating on the Red. But Bison really thought about the future of Red. Although Red's overall talent is indeed average. But the talent in illusion is still relatively rare. Although Bison has not yet started to study illusion. But Bison, who yearns for perfection and pursues omnipotence, how can he let himself have shortcomings? So Bison will definitely study BBDC illusion. And Bison's entry point is the Pommel Horse family. The Kurama family is a family of Konoha. This family is good at using illusions and has blood-related boundaries related to illusions. The family had sent a lot of Jonin and Chunin to Konoha, but later, because there were no ninjas who awakened the boundaries of the blood, the family gradually declined and became one of the small and inconspicuous families in Konoha. And Yuhika's future student Kurama Yakumo. On the other hand, he is the most gifted and talented blood follower in the history of the Pommel Horse family. Its blood succession ability can be sublimated and become a shadowy force that can be created in nothing. For example, things drawn on a blueprint will appear in reality, which is the most essential shadowy force. It is precisely because of this powerful blood-restricting power that it oppresses the body's absorption of nutrients and causes the body to become weak. And in the spiritual world of Kurama Yakumo, a powerful monster, Ito, was born. Kurama Yakumo's blood-following ability is very powerful and very special. She can control people's 5 senses, which is a terrible illusion that makes others become her puppets. You can't help your words, you can't help yourself. What you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you touch, everything you know is what I want you to know. Moreover, it can create a world of illusion, and everything that happens in the world of illusion. As long as she wants, it can be real, such as damage or repair to things or human bodies, etc. The vision painted on her canvas can become reality if she so desires. It is precisely because Kurama Yakumo has these powerful and special blood succession abilities. That's why this monster named IDU is unusually powerful. Dominate the five senses and make illusions come true. Such a powerful blood-based boundary, if combined, can transform the negative emotions of human beings into dark chakra, thus creating a zero-tailed surgery. What kind of powerful monsters will be born? And also, Bison also intends to create the Immortal Beast technique. Based on Wanwa creation, a fairy beast similar to a tail beast was created, and the fairy beast was sealed in the ninja body. Thus, the fairy beast Jinchuriki was mass-produced. If the Immortal Beast technique combines the pommel horse blood following and the zero-tail technique, and finally adds Bison's deduction ability. So what kind of effect will the final fairy beast technique have? Bison wanted to do this experiment on Yuhi Hong. That's when the Minato class rushed to the mission location. Killer Bee, and 98 other Cloud Shinobi, are resting. Should we really not be more careful? Killer Bee asked worriedly. Since the last time he was defeated by Sasori with one move, he has understood the truth that there are people outside people and heaven outside people. Konoha is the first ninja village in the ninja world. Who knows if there are some particularly powerful monsters hidden among the Konoha shinobi? Hearing Killer Bee's worrying question, I shook his head gently and replied. We all sneak in and we're bound to be discovered by the Konoha shinobi. It's no use being cautious. Our task is to test, and it has to be fast. You can retreat immediately after the test, safety first. After receiving I's reply, Killer Bee closed his mouth, but there was still a little unease in his eyes. In fact, Killer Bee is not the only one who is uneasy. Eight-Tails Gyuki, who was sealed in Killer Bee, was also a little uneasy. Killer Bee, I can feel your unease. Actually, I also feel uneasy. This mission is better to be careful. I know Gyuki, if I encounter a monster-level enemy, I will use that move to escape as soon as possible. Kindness. But when Killer Bee responded to Eight-Tails Gyuki, Bison's Grand Unified Electromagnetic Field has spotted them. Senior Minato, I have found the enemy. 9 o'clock, 4,700 meters. They all know the identity of the enemy. One is I, the son of Third Raikage, who has the title of Blue Lightning, and the other is Eight-Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. Although his eyesight is not weak, Namikaze Minato trusts Bison very much. As long as it is a sneak attack, even a cage-level ninja cannot escape Bison's control. Bison has proven himself strong against the Sunagakur advance. The only problem now is, Bison-kun, do you have the confidence to control Jinchuriki? No problem at all. Bison's flat tone was full of confidence. After replying, Bison speeded up and disappeared in place in an instant. As for Namikaze Minato, looking at Kakashi and Hong, who were on the side, they kept the original speed. He has a lot of trust in Bison. With Bison's strength, absolutely nothing will happen. But Kakashi and Hong are quite immature. Especially Red. If there is an accident due to carelessness, that's not good. But between breaths, when Bison's figure appeared in front of Killer Bee, and a group of Cloud Shinobi. Besides Killer Bee, the remaining 99 showed cruel smiles. Did not think of the first Konoha Shinobi to appear in their eyes as actually a kid. Even if the speed of this kid seems to be a bit amazing. But what's the power at such a young age? As for the rest of the Konoha Shinobi, let's talk about this first. The big deal is to kill and run. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this kid. Eight-Tails Gyuki's perception ability is not comparable to that of ordinary ninjas. He could feel Bison's terror. There seems to be a sun-like terror in Bison's body. So hot, so powerful. Not only represents creation, but also represents destruction. It also felt the breath of magic. What monster is this? Seems to be more powerful than Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, who can crush them. Even younger. At the thought of Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, Eight-Tails Gyuki couldn't help but tremble slightly. As Killer Bee of Eight-Tails Gyuki Jinchuriki, he can also clearly feel Eight-Tails Gyuki's fear. He looked at Bison, and the unease in his heart seemed to condense into reality. He wanted to yell and run. Only, in the next instant, Bison has turned the Grand Unified Electromagnetic Field. The invisible electromagnetic force suddenly generated, as if it condensed into an invisible mountain out of thin air, and then pressed hard against the Cloud Shinobi. Except Killer Bee. No one can resist Baisan's grand unified electromagnetic field. Even Killer Bee just released the tail beast coat, barely resisting the invisible force of the unified electromagnetic field. But on Earth, boom long long, accompanied by a tremor that shook the ground. A golden true dragon clad in purple gold flame suddenly emerged from the ground. Hold head high. The dragon roared suddenly, and Killer Bee, who had entered the half-tailed beast transformation, was swallowed by the Zijin Yanlong in the next instant. Then Zijin Yanlong deformed and turned into a cage. There were many chains in the cage, which directly locked Killer Bee to death. How can that be? I was actually suppressed by another move. And this time, I can't even move, and I can't make that move. Killer Bee's eyes and face were full of shock and fear. Because he understands. This time, he is really bad luck. As for I, his expression was already twisted. How is this possible? How is this possible? I was defeated by one move. And it was a crushing defeat. Even, my enemy is still a kid. Is Konoha's kid who just graduated from school so powerful? I don't believe it. How is this possible? He never dreamed. His mission would fail so completely. Konoha's ninjas are so powerful. To know, he is Blue Lightning, but a cage-level powerhouse. But, what is all this about? Are there so many monsters in this world? Shiroshi, Sasori, my father, and this Konoha shinobi in front of me. Looks like I'm still too arrogant. Before accepting this task, his father Third Raikage had persuaded him not to accept this task. But he had to accept it and wanted to prove himself. As long as the enemy isn't those monsters, he must be able to complete the task perfectly. But what about now? He proved that there are real monsters among the Konoha shinobi. And he really couldn't get the job done. Even life. There is also something that can be lost today. Father, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have listened to you. Baisan can't ignore what Killer Bee and I are thinking right now. Mind a move. The cage that trapped Killer Bee instantly went out. At the same time, one after another, golden chains were drilled out of the earth, tying up these cloud shinobi. Even Baisan made an incomparably huge carriage, ready to use Zijin Yanlong to transport the captives. Wait until Namikaze Minato comes to the battlefield with Kakashi and Red. They saw, on an incomparably huge open-top carriage, 100 cloud shinobi, trapped in golden chains, were piling up in a pile. In front of the open-top carriage was a horse that looked like a unicorn. Gold texture, covered in purple gold flames, looks extremely mysterious. This is, Namikaze Minato was stunned, Kakashi was stunned, and Hong was stunned. So strong, so handsome. In their minds, these two words popped up at the same time. Minato-san, Kakashi, and Hong. Don't be stunned, the mission has been completed. Let's go back to Konoha. Baisan's voice also made Namikaze Minato, Kakashi, and Hong 3 react quickly. After an embarrassed smile, Namikaze Minato sincerely praised. Baisan-kun is still as fast as ever. And got stronger. To be able to capture all the mission targets in such a short period of time. And this carriage and that magic horse really opened my eyes to how immortal art can still be used like this. Hong on the side listened and nodded frantically in her heart. Yeah, Baisan-kun is so handsome. Baisan-kun is so strong. As for Kakashi, the admiration in his eyes grew stronger. As expected of Baisan-kun. So powerful, so handsome. Following Namikaze Minato's praise, Kakashi and Hong also praised a few words. It made Baisan wave his hand gently and said, "Okay, don't brag anymore. Go back to Konoha quickly." After hearing Baisan's words, Namikaze Minato stopped complimenting, although they thought they could still compliment for 3 hours. Because there are unicorns pulling the cart, the Minato class's journey is also much easier. Certainly, it is also a little slower, after all, there are so many prisoners. For Baisan, it's better to be slower. Because Baisan, who was sitting on the carriage, was looking at Killer Bee carefully. The so-called Jinchuriki refers to the person possessed by the tailed beast or the tailed beast chakra, who is the vessel that seals the tailed beast or its chakra. For flowers, it transforms the tailed beast and uses the tailed beast chakra as a unique attack method. Almost as long as you are Jinchuriki, you will be discriminated against by the whole village. Because most people think that Jinchuriki is a monster, as long as Jinchuriki loses control of his emotions, he will turn into a tailed beast, putting the village in crisis again. Most Jinchuriki and tailed beasts are hostile to each other and risk their consciousness being eroded by tailed beasts. But according to the degree of strength, it can control a certain degree of tailed beast chakra or even tailed beast chakra, who can perfectly control the tailed beast only after mutual understanding and recognition with the tailed beast, is called the perfect Jinchuriki. Perfect Jinchuriki is rare. Uzumaki Naruto is one, so is Killer Bee. But Uzumaki Naruto, who is the perfect Jinchuriki, can enter the Nine Tails chakra mode. The appearance has changed significantly. The body is surrounded by golden chakra, the hair is upturned in the shape of two horns, and the neckline position shows 6 tomo. With Nine Tails chakra mode enabled, Uzumaki Naruto uses the power of Nine Tails to increase his movement speed, and he can sense the difference between friend and foe through the maliciousness and goodwill of others, and can extend the hands of multiple Nine Tails chakra. And the advanced mode of Nine Tails chakra mode, Kurama mode. And the final heavy particle mode. This mode is similar to the principle of nuclear fusion, that is, the principle that the sun generates energy through nuclear fusion, combining many light particles to produce heavy particles. Nine Tails completely fuses its own chakra with Uzumaki Naruto's chakra to create a brand new chakra that instantly releases a lot of energy. But Uzumaki Naruto's great power comes at a heavy price, quickly draining Nine Tails' lives and chakra. Because chakra creates connections, new powers grow while cutting the life of Nine Tails. When the user touches the enemy's body, this new power quickly burns and consumes the enemy's chakra, constantly eroding the enemy's flesh like nuclear radiation. In the heavy particle mode, due to the production of a large number of new types of chakra, the strength and speed are greatly improved, and the perception ability is also greatly improved, surpassing other Nine Tails modes. So Killer Bee, the perfect Jinchuriki, has no pattern. Why is this? Because Uzumaki Naruto is special. Because Nine Tails is also special. This really makes me want to look into it. Bison thought and did so. Reach out, press on the seal of Killer Bee, expand the unified electromagnetic field, and begin to perceive the state of Killer Bee. Jinchuriki is in a strange state. In the body of Jinchuriki, there are two kinds of chakra. One is his own, and the other is that of the tailed beast. And the two chakras influence each other. The chakra of the tailed beast is similar to the chakra of the blood and the limit. Not only is the quality much higher than the chakra of ordinary ninjas, but it can also permanently affect the figure and spirit of Jinchuriki. So, if the tailed beast chakra is also regarded as a kind of bloodline boundary, and the blood can be merged. If the tailed beast chakra and Jinchuriki chakra are perfectly integrated, a more powerful chakra can be produced. Even if Jinchuriki also has a bloodline limit, Uzumaki Naruto has a sage body, and his chakra is definitely not an ordinary chakra. It can be regarded as a kind of blood follower boundary chakra, and it is also a very powerful blood follower boundary chakra. And the chakra of Nine Tails is also the strongest tailed beast chakra. A combination of both. That's it. The strength of the ninja mainly depends on the quality and quantity of chakra. It is an eternal law that quantitative change will lead to qualitative change. And all chakra is derived from the divine tree, and the fruit of the divine tree. That is, blood follows the fusion of chakra, the fusion of tailed beast chakra, the fusion of different chakras. As long as it is continuously integrated, the quality of chakra can be continuously improved and thus become stronger. The fusion of all attributes of chakra will give birth to the blood snares. The chakra fusion of the nine-tailed beasts will give birth to the divine tree chakra. And the blood follows the snare chakra, and the divine tree chakra can continue to merge. That is the power that belongs to Otsutsuki. Sage mode is the power of ordinary chakra that fuses natural energy to produce celestial chakra. Chakra has a variety of properties, and fission reactions can produce fission chakra, and in theory, fission modes can also be born. It's just that the chakra reactor is a solidified seal. So there is no so-called fission chakra mode. Like fairies without sage mode, they are fairies. So, if you can perfectly integrate your own chakra with the tailed beast, there won't be any tailed beast chakra mode. The normal state of ninja 433 is to open the state under the tailed beast chakra. I want to develop the immortal beast technique. If the ninja can feed all the chakra refined by himself to the immortal beast, then the ninja can always be in the immortal beast chakra state. And the stronger the chakra of the fairy beast, the stronger the ninja. It is equivalent to opening a training accelerator for ninjas. And the fairy beasts are not tail beasts, their essence is the fairy chakra life form. That is to say, the fairy beast Jinchuriki can naturally become a fairy, with a lifespan and power that surpasses that of mortals. This is much stronger than the tailed beast Jinchuriki. Inferno Radiation, Star Radiation, Sage Art Inferno Style Wanwa Creation. I may know how to create the original version of the immortal beast technique. After fully recording the chakra magnetic field of the perfect Jinchuriki, Baisan's brain also began to deduce rapidly. Time passed quickly. When Baisan used Wanwa creation to create a carriage that carried hundreds of captives and was pulled by unicorn monsters to the gate of Konoha. Hundreds of ninjas, hundreds of villagers. Seeing them all exclaimed involuntarily. Wow, what is this? How can there be such a mysterious animal in this world? What animal is this? It's too handsome. And this carriage, it's really exquisite, is it made of precious jade? How much is this worth? Wait, there's actually 1, 2, 3 on this carriage. So many captives. These are the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village. Wrong. It's not a real animal and it's not a real carriage. This is an entity made of chakra. Who is it? There is actually such a miraculous secret technique in Konoha. Ha ha, this is not something that can be done by secret art. This is definitely a very powerful bloodline limit. Look, is that the 8 Tails Jinchuriki killer bee from Cloud Shinobi Village? Oh my god, it's actually 8 Tails Jinchuriki killer bee. Not long ago, Third Hokage arrives with a group of Anbu ninjas to receive the captives. Minato, Baisan, Kakashi, and Hong. You guys did a great job. This time overdid the job. There was a little complexity hidden in the depths of his eyes, but a clear smile appeared on Third Hokage's face, approving. These are all things we should be doing. The smile on Namikaze Minato's face is also very bright, like a little sun. The smile on his face grew brighter. Third Hokage looked at the unicorn and the carriage, and his eyes couldn't help showing a bit of horror. He knows. This is no ordinary chakra. This chakra is actually more terrifying than the tailed beast chakra. Is this what Baisan's strength is now? Does the current Baisan already possess the strength comparable to the god of ninja, or even surpass the god of ninja? And this technique, there is nothing wrong. That unicorn has life. It is similar to the existence of the tail beast. Did not think of. Baisan is actually able to create an existence similar to a tailed beast. And it can also drive it to pull a cart. As a ninjutsu doctor, Third Hokage knows exactly what that means. This means that Baisan's knowledge and mastery of chakra has surpassed him as a ninjutsu doctor, and even surpassed his teacher, Second Hokage Senju Tobarama. As a student of Senju Tobarama, Third Hokage knows very well how talented his teachers are. Flying Thunder God technique involving space, reanimation jutsu involving life and death, soul and pure land, as well as researching the zero-tailed technique created by tailed beasts, and so on. It is not that Senju Tobarama has not studied tailed beasts. But he only developed the zero-tail technique by gathering the negative emotions of human beings, condensing the dark chakra, and finally making the zero tail. And if you want to make a zero tail, not only the conditions are very harsh, but it is also difficult to control the zero tail, and even the strength of the zero tail is still very weak. From this point of view, it can be seen how difficult it is to create an existence similar to a tailed beast. That is such a difficult thing. It was actually completed by Baisan, who just turned 10 years old. This is incredible. Unable to bear, Third Hokage said. Baisan-kun, your skills are unbelievable. To be able to produce something like such a special existence. Want to know how Baisan-kun did you do it? Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, Baisan smiled slightly and replied with a hint. Lord Hokage, settle these captives first. After a while, I have some plans to tell you, Lord Hokage. As soon as these words came out, Third Hokage's expression changed immediately. He took a deep look at Baisan and seemed to want to see something. But in the end it was just a slight nod. It is good. Soon, the Anbu ninjas got into action, and Baisan turned the unicorns, carriages, and chains back into dust. This scene was seen by the onlookers, ninjas and villagers. Combined with Third Hokage's previous reaction, an extremely shocking news spread throughout Konoha in a very short period of time. Bison went from genius to powerhouse. But none of this is about Bison. Before going on a mission, Bison promised to help Kakashi remodel his nervous system and eyes, and teach him a technique to increase his speed with lightning-style chakra. On the way back, Bison has asked Orochimaru about the Longan transformation technology. This technology can transform human eyes into Longan. Obtain extremely terrifying dynamic vision and static vision, as well as infrared vision, and even have a kind of natural coercion. Looking directly at the enemy is equivalent to releasing a low-level illusion, which is very practical. The next day, Kakashi looked at himself in the mirror. A pair of eyes was born with golden light, and the pupils were erected like gems, and it was full of an indescribable sense of coercion. He saw the dust in the light fluttering slowly. He couldn't help but marvel at this nuanced slowness. He was also able to see the temperature of everything, creating an effect similar to perspective. This is the infrared vision of Longan. And then in the next instant, Kakashi turned around suddenly as if subconsciously, and at the same time stretched out his right hand and opened his palm. This is Bison throwing an apple. This is also the transformation of Kakashi's nervous system, which allows Kakashi to have a reaction speed far exceeding that of normal humans. This apple is very sweet, eat it. Catching the apple, the shock in Kakashi's heart was even stronger, as if a stormy sea had set off. Dynamic vision, static vision, infrared vision, a sense of pressure, and this terrifying reaction speed. Is this still me? It's just a small operation. I have had such an earth-shaking change. Is this what Bison is capable of now? It's just incredible. The me after the operation is enough to easily beat the me before 10 operations. Now, I almost have the combat power of Cage level. Wrong. It's still a little short of speed. But Bison-kun said to teach me a trick to increase speed with lightning-style chakra. As long as the shortcomings in speed are filled, I will have the combat power of Cage level. While eating apples, Kakashi pondered. When Kakashi finished eating the apples, Bison took out a scroll. Actually, this technique was also found by your father, Tsukumo-san. But I did optimization. You can have a look. Listening to what Bison said, throw the apple core into the trash with precision. Kakashi then turned over the scroll. Lightning-style chakra mode is a very special art. In the hands of Third Raikage, it possesses great defense, attack, and stamina. But in Ai's hands, it showed a terrifying speed comparable to blue lightning. Bison, who was curious about this, studied it carefully. Finally found the difference. Ninjas have individual differences, which will lead to different effects of lightning-style chakra mode. And when using lightning-style chakra mode, if you change some tiny details, it can also lead to a certain difference in the effect of lightning-style chakra mode. Kakashi wanted to increase his speed. Then Bison gave a lightning-style chakra mode that can greatly increase the speed version. Looking at the lightning-fast version of lightning-style chakra mode, Kakashi's eyes widened involuntarily, with horror and shock in his eyes. Not only the lightning-fast version of lightning-style chakra mode, but also because of Bison's comments. So profound, so meticulous, so rigorous, so clear. Through this scroll, Kakashi can not only master lightning-style chakra mode, but also understand its principle and integrate it into his own art. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.